Welcome to Table Flip. At the table, we're playing Starcana this session, and I am here with my regular co-hosts, Lindsay
Howdy ho, I'm Lindsay. What's going on?
and Tyler.
Hello.
I am also joined by our increasingly more regular fourth guest host, Dave,
What's up?
and our community play member, KB Fool. Would you like to introduce yourself real quickly?
Absolutely. You can call me Tim. I've played exactly one Genesys campaign that went on for about 8 sessions, and I loved the hell out of it. I've been playing D&D since early 3rd edition, and last year just started getting tired of it, started looking farther afield, and happened upon Genesys. Had played a couple of sessions of Star Wars RPG, so the dice system was pretty quick to pick up, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this community thing is about, and maybe starting up my own table. I'm going to hopefully be putting out an LFG post in the Discord soon.
Rad. So yeah, hopefully maybe this will either give you some ideas of what you want to play at your table, or maybe you'll even pick up the Starcana campaign setting and run your own table with it in your own campaign.
I already picked up the setting book and perusing it, and yeah, looks like a lot of fun. We're doing it.
Kick ass. Yeah, just to orient ourselves and the listeners, Starcana is a sci-fi fantasy setting produced by 404 Game Studios. It was one of the early Foundry products. It is a spacefaring setting that incorporates magic. It takes place in the Almacar galaxy. Relatively largely unexplored or yet to be explored galaxy where we focus in on known space, which comprises the states of a few different alien species, specifically the Naguli, Kel, Nidenos, Mako. There's dragon people. There's like gnome people. There's a whole bunch of different species already built into this, and between them they have what you typically see in sci-fi. So they are spacefaring nations. They do politics with each other, they war with each other, and they engage in trade with each other. Today's adventure is going to be focusing in very much on that little slice of trade, because regardless of the big things going on in the galaxy, people do just live and exist in it and have to make ends meet and keep on trucking through the galaxy. On top of that, though, what brings the magic into this is that this is a setting where there's always been some degree of magic through this concept of the Velithic Church, this galaxy-spanning religious institution that has been able to summon miracles for quite a while now, and that sort of gave them a monopoly on magic. But relatively recently, arcane and primal magics have been erupting and emerging throughout the galaxy and becoming more and more commonplace as people discover they have these magical powers too. So that's layered on top of this galaxy spanning more traditional sci-fi setting. So it's a cool setting, is what I have taken a very long way of saying. And our adventure today, though, is, like I said, focused on the crew of the shipping frigate, the Sushi Boat. You all have been on assignment. You traveled to the edge of known space just beyond the territory claimed by the Mako League, and picked up a. Is it Mako or Makos? I was saying, you think it's Makos? I was saying
two
Makos
S's,
before.
man.
Oh, okay, fine, whatever. Okay, fine. I'll defer to you since you created the Makos character. You picked up this mysterious package at the edge of known space, just outside of the Makos League territory, at an a newly settled world that also has some interesting ruins on it, but you did not ask any questions about it because you are a small shipping company, and part of the way that you have a competitive advantage is you don't ask questions about what you're shipping and hauling. You just get it from point A to point B, and you get it there quickly. So you picked up this mysterious package, and it is a metallic steel crate that is otherwise totally unremarkable, that is sitting in your hull. However, on your way back from the edge, heading towards the Stargate, one of the Stargates are the key form of interstellar transportation in Starcana. They are basically, they're Stargates, as you'd expect, as known from the movie and the TV show. They have to dial each other and face each other, but when they are correctly aligned, they create wormholes between two locations for relatively instantaneous transportation between those two locations. So you are heading towards your local system, Stargate, to get back into known space. However, on your way back, you were attacked by space pirates. Because as we know, in space, there are always space pirates. And we enter the scene with the Sushi Boat under attack. It sort of zips by Star Wars A New Hope style from above the screen, and we see it just screaming forward with blaster fire behind it from a much smaller, much zippier pirate interceptor that is just firing barrage after barrage at it, trying to take out your engines so that they can get whatever great loots are in your cargo hull. I think first, before we jump into the scene, we're going to start in initiative order. However, PCs will go first, so you will not need to worry about. You will not need
So you want us
to
to
roll
roll?
for initiative. No, you won't need to roll for initiative. I'm just trying to figure, because I'm not able to. Am I set as the GM for this? Is that the issue? It's not letting me like add initiative slots right now.
Mine just kicked me out fully.
And yeah, and my game just kicked me out too.
Yep.
Off to a great start.
There we go. Okay.
All right, yeah. Let me see. I am the. Oh no. Yeah, I am the GM. Why isn't this letting me add? Just-
Unable to match dice.
So I guess try just. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Wait.
So here, let me do.
Yeah, so I guess before you roll, the buttons are missing. I'll
Yeah.
shoot a message to the
It's a
sessions guys.
good thing to know.
Right.
So we jump into initiative order. You guys will get the first 4 slots before we jump into what your individual actions are in the structured vehicle chase, vehicle combat encounter.
Sorry, do I need to get like vigilance in here or something like that?
You don't need to roll anything yet. You're automatically getting the initiative slots, the PC slots, before the NPCs.
Oh, there we go. That's why I'm having issues.
Because we're jumping into it in medias res. Josu Nolan, the ship captain, or ship pilot.
Yep.
Also, presumably the one who has customized the paint job on the ship. What does the Sushi Boat look like? And then
Oh, it's
you can take first PC slot and introduce
It's-
your character.
it's just flames. It's just like those old school like flames going off the nose of the ship. Josu is a human man, looks to be middle-aged, wearing a worn-looking space flannel with a mesh hat that is frayed in places. It looks like it was due to be replaced probably a year or two ago, and he's just kept wearing it. And he's got this pretty stern look on his face as he's sitting himself back in the seat. This is probably assuming that things are just going to go just fine. He's cursing and he hops in the seat, and then he's going to do two things. With his action, he's going to slam his hand down on the horn button. It's a maneuver. So, okay, yeah, as a maneuver, he'll do that. And then as a action, he is going to attempt to gain the advantage.
All right. So, as an action to gain the advantage, this will be.
So, yeah, what speed are we starting at? I guess is.
I think that we are jumping into it medias res, so you are at whatever speed you think Josu would be comfortable moving the frigate up.
Oh, he's gunning it.
So he's gunning it. So
he's at he's at speed 3 as soon as he can coming out of this gate.
Okay, so we can even update that on the board to speed 3.
Gotta make sure that those flames really are doing the work.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Flames don't lie.
Exactly.
And yeah, as a maneuver again, he just slams his hand down on the truck horn button, which sends a blast out across all frequencies of radios and it's going to make, based on what you wrote up here, the affected ship's going to succeed on a average leadership check or be disoriented till the end of their next turn. And then he is going to attempt to gain the advantage.
So wait, sorry. So the Naguli, the pirate, has to.
Yeah, that's what you've got on the thing here. Blasthorn. As a maneuver vehicle's pilot.
That's your special rule. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I thought this was gain the advantage. Yes. You're slamming down in your horn as a maneuver. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Average leadership check.
Sorry, we should have brought that up to the people that weren't part of the sessions. We have a trucker horn that defies communication principles and just blasts itself over all bands of communication, regardless of their encryption.
And the pirate
ship.
fails their leadership check as what does the horn sound like as it just inundates the pirate with terrible sound?
I think it's got a switch, and one of them is what Lindsay just did, and that's the one that that's the one it's on right now.
I was a radio operator for both secure and unsecure radios many years ago, and the very concept of this is just amazing. I love it.
And it is equally amazing to the Naguli pirate, who is totally shocked by it. And say again what the result of that is. It staggers them, I think, right?
It disorients them.
Disorients them, so they get a setback, right? Just one or two disorient?
It just says disorient, so I'm going to guess 1.
Just 1. Okay. Yes, the Naguli pirate will have a setback on their next check. On their next turn. Cool. And is that your...
That's my maneuver, so now I'm going to gain the advantage. Oh, actually, I don't think I can yet. Because it says speed +4, so I got to get going a little bit faster, which is fine. I will use full throttle instead. While driving or flying, your character may use this talent to make a hard piloting or driving check. If successful, the top speed of the vehicle increases by 1 for a number of rounds equal to your character's cunning. So I will make the hard check. Ding.
This is a talent that you have, right?
Yep, full throttle.
Okay.
Rank 3. I have 2 ranks in Daring Aviator, which I am using.
So excited.
I also have Knack for it, so that negates the handling.
Wait, do you have the crash one?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Wow.
Wow. So 8 successes and 1 threat to that.
What is the threat that you're too cool? Like,
yeah. So this is actually a good opportunity to introduce a little bit more environmental factors into the scene. I think that as you are flying through, we see that the ships find themselves suddenly in the asteroid-strewn ring of a nearby planet. There's ice, whatever, ice blocks, and then asteroids and debris all over the place now. So with that threat, you suffer a narrow miss and suffer 1 system strain on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
as a
Just a scratch.
yeah. Perfect. Yeah, that you hear like a I think you hear a scraping sound sort of echoes through the reverberates through the hull and the ship as Josu says just a scratch. And so one other thing you can do though in this debris field is that you can make a hard piloting check to duck behind rock and effectively give yourself cover. You can add a setback to attacks targeting the ship.
I assume that's an action. He's not doing that this time, but yeah. We are up to speed 4 for 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh wow, okay, that's 6 for 3 rounds. Cool. And then that moves to the next PC. Who would like to go next? And you'll be introducing your character as well as telling us what you're doing.
Hey man.
This
what do you
ship
got
does
to-
have
Oh,
sorry. This ship does have a actual weapon as well, by the way. So we're
nice.
clear.
Speaking of where I can go next and try to fix some strain on this here ship. I'm going to take that resounding silence as a hell yeah. Let's fix that strain. All right. I'm playing Lerny. Cute little fun Artie. Artie is a sphere floating around. Absolutely adorable. They love adventure. They're a little bit naive, but a cute little robot with weird little arms that come out and do stuff. Absolutely great.
And RD stands for
And
artificial construct. So to be
yes. Yes.
clear, Lerny is a
sorry.
robot.
It's a ribbit. Yep. Exactly. They are also a mechanic. So Lerny is going to sit there hovering in space, having a grand old time, look over there and be like, oh, finally, I'm useful, and rush on over to go and try to do their job and fix that strain on the ship there from that asteroid. So, yeah, do I have to just do a mechanics check on that one?
Yeah, just do a mechanics check. But wait, so Lerny is just like hanging out on the outside of the ship. That's like just where Lerny chills. I guess because
Yeah, Lerny is, sorry, I said in space because they float around. They're a little hovering robot, baby.
oh, I see. Okay, not in. Okay, that.
So now Lerny's fantastic, and just kind of like zips
Okay.
around to their little robot station where they can get out there to address outside issues on the ship because, you know.
Yeah, and I think there's probably like drones or something you can do. So Lerny doesn't
Yeah,
have to like
absolutely.
actively go outside
No,
to fix like a
Lerny
scratch.
basically goes in, injects his weird little arms into the ship's side, and then commands things to do stuff. As you can see, I know a lot about mechanics.
That's how it works. That's
So
how
what-
engineering happens.
I mean, that's all R2 has to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's where I'm taking it from. All right. Yeah. Sorry. Give me one moment. Boop, beep, boop. Mechanics, where are you? Do I need to put anything against this or just hard mechanics check?
It will be a. I don't think it's even a hard mechanics check.
Sorry, I say hard and I'm like just flat, straight up. No water on that whiskey.
Oh yeah. It's a mechanics check neat.
Yes.
Yeah, so but it will be easy difficulty because you are less than half strain threshold.
Cool.
So
That's just a
that makes
wait.
it easy.
Well, that's just a one
One
purple.
purple.
Yeah. Oh,
And I'm not gonna add any difficulty or any setbacks to that.
hey.
So two
Two
successes, two
successes.
advantages.
Two advantages.
So yeah, you reduce strain or hull trauma by 1 per uncancelled success. So that's 2 strain that you can repair. But you only have 1 strain, system strain. So with those 2 advantages though, there are some additional things that you can do because of the setting. You can grant 2 advantages will grant a boost to the next attack made by this ship.
Hell yeah. That's beautiful. I want to do that.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, if someone takes over guns, you'll get a boost as the... Yeah, what is granting the boost exactly? What's the fiction that's happening?
Well, basically, the fiction that's happening is that Lerny bops on over there, starts fiddling around with stuff, fixing the damage, and then doing that kind of notices a little something with the artillery system. And that's not running exactly how I want it to. And it just kind of, they have time. They just fix that up a little bit. So the guns are basically just running at like fully optimal power right now.
I like to imagine that expanding the fiction of Lerny doing the R2D2 like engineering is just like shoving some weird probe into various computer systems unsolicited. But you have to do that for every system you touch. You have to do that. So like Lerny is just like jamming their arms and limbs into different little ports all over this terminal.
Really, Lerny is a tripping hazard for everybody else.
You cut out there. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. Lerny's a tripping hazard for everybody. Lerny has one arm in one side of the ship, a leg on the other side of the ship. Uh-oh. Just
a leg.
really not paying attention to anything around them.
Awesome, yeah. And I think that while this is going on, there's this... You're getting glancing shots from the barrage of fire from the pirate vessel, even if it's not really doing any actual damage. So the ship is still doing that Star Trek shaky cam thing as it's sort of sprawling and doing these repairs. Cool. I guess you took a maneuver. Are you spending a second maneuver to do anything, or are you just doing the maneuver in action?
Like, Lerny's just stick at their station, make sure that they're ready in case anything else happens.
All right. Next PC slot. Who would like to take this one?
I'll take it if that's cool.
Go for it.
All right. So while this is going on, the ship is going faster than normal, and he's whipping it around to take the advantage, and everything's shaking, and probably buzzers are going off. And while this is happening, Ripley, who is a Macasse, he's a dapper Macasse, so he's like a face. He wears an air collar so that he doesn't drown in stagnant air. But yeah, so he's hanging out in the cabin. He's standing up. He's not at his station. And while all this is happening, and Josu, the pilot, is trying to pay attention to his task, he's seriously, boss. Sushi Boat, it's extremely insensitive. I have told you this so many times, but I don't understand why you won't change the name.
Bad luck.
Yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden things start rattling a little harder. And he's like, oh, snap. And he sits down in his chair and grabs the gun. And I will take a shot at the Naguli pirate.
Awesome. Yeah, he spent a maneuver to move to the weapons terminal and attempt to shoot at your pursuer. I also love the idea that I just realized that Ripley is dapper. So with the little fans, I just imagine like the southern gentleman like waving, and I'm imagining like a ton of like tiny little mechanical ones just all around his gills, just doing that constantly. But yeah, okay. So for issue, that's a gunnery check, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
I'll tell you what. You blow this thing out of space, I'll consider changing the name.
You know what? Deal. I'm gonna blow this thing sky high. And he reaches up to his collar and presses a little button, which shoots a little, this is just narrative, but it just shoots a little flyby. And so his pupils dilate and he steadies his shaky hands. By the way, he's a flyby addict. I didn't mention that. Steadies his shaky hands so he can make the shot.
Cool. Are you taking flyby right now?
It was just a narrative thing. I feel like
okay,
he's always taking flyby. I'm not going to actually use my flyby. Not right now. I'm going to save it.
Yeah, I imagine like the full hit is maybe like an inhaler, and then you have like little straws. You just go like whenever you want to like just you need to keep that edge going a little bit. Cool. Distance between the pirate interceptor and the sushi boat, you're in the same range band, so it'd be close range.
Is that just one difficulty?
So it'd be one difficulty, but add a setback just for the fact that you are in this debris field. So there is just asteroids and ice chunks constantly like zipping by as you're weaving and wending through the planet's ring.
But also, don't forget your advantage.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, I've got a boost from for the attack. And then something happens for gain the advantage, right?
I wasn't able to gain the advantage yet because
Okay.
I have to be at horse speed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gotcha. I forgot about that. Yo, now watch this, sucker. And I get 5 success and 1 threat.
Wow. What
Nice.
is the weapon stats on your weapon?
So the vehicle weapon, turret mounted twin particle beam cannons does damage 4, which is going to be 9 total damage with success there. I didn't get any advantage, so I can't use any of the cool qualities or anything, but it does have Linked 1, EMP 3, and Disorient 2 if somebody ever is a better shot than Ripley there.
Yeah, I think that some of the shots that you unleash, most of them land directly on the pirate interceptor, but then you do actually just explode an asteroid, a stone and ice chunk right near the ship, and it just ricochets off the hull of the ship, causing 1 strain onto the Sushi Boat.
I've added that.
Okay, and that was actually healed previously by, so you're only at 1 system strain. So we probably move it for
Gotcha.
Lerny's engineering check. And let me update the pirate interceptor because you took. So that did 9 hull damage, right?
Yes.
With the successes. Reduced by armor. Oh, I should have had you roll 2 more black dice because of the defense. So yeah, just roll 2 setback dice. Almost added in. Okay, so you still do 9 damage, but reduced to 7 as the pirate interceptor's hull absorbs most of the blast. But entire plates just fly off into the distance. With the 2 additional threat.
Nice shot.
Yeah, I know I didn't get this fancy suit by just being a slacker, you know what I'm saying?
No, I think with the 2 additional threat though, so I am using a Star Wars RPG environment for this, and it says Minox emerge. There are no Minox in this setting. However, there are these fun little critters which are basically space rats. And
yes, ROUSs?
ROUSs, but the U in this case stands for usual size. They're pretty average sized space
But in
rats.
space.
Yeah, but they're in space, yeah. Rodents of unusual spaces. These are called. I can find them. Just one second. Like just a minute ago.
They just like football-sized tardigrades.
Cute.
Actually, yeah, the icon I have for them is they're basically giant tardigrades. They're huge water bears. But I'm trying to find them.
Adorable.
Because I forget what they're called, and I need that to actually locate them and clone them onto the table. Zanks. There we go.
Zanks a lot.
Yeah, as you blow up one of the asteroids, I think that it like scares a swarm of Zanks out from the crawl space between the interior of the ship and the external hull. And Zanks swarm out in the immediate vicinity of Ripley, all around. They just like flood out all around the weapons terminal. And yeah, you suddenly are surrounded by these little rodentine creatures. And I'm gonna just put these. Okay, are these not on the table? There we go. And you can see if you click on them, they are, so the way Zanks are described, these are ugly creatures. They're so ugly they are almost endearing. They are hairless, rodentine creatures with a pointed snout, and they taper, their bodies taper at both ends. They have 8 short legs that keep them close to the ground, and long whiskers protrude from their snout that help them determine what spaces they can fit through or not fit through. they can metabolize almost anything, and as a result, basically are everywhere. They are the rats of the Almacar galaxy. And a horde of 3 of them has just spilled out of the terminal and is squealing at you, Ripley. But for now, we don't need to worry about them for now.
Well, then I'm going to spend my second maneuver to be like, yeah, listen, boss, I'm almost out of juice. I got to go back to my bunk and I will move on.
No, deal with them first.
Sorry, maybe later. So I've moved out of the cabin.
Yeah, I was like, jeez. And the door to the cabin just hisses closed behind you as you just leave. And yeah, are we saying that the weapons terminal is in the same vicinity? It's in the forward cabin
Yeah, I
along
think
with
so.
the
Yeah.
piloting station. Okay, perfect. And then we move to
You hear as an incidental over the ship comms, Ranta to the cockpit, please. We've got Zanks. Ripley was apparently keeping in the weapons console.
All right. As the ship exited the gate and we started executing these high-speed maneuvers and the shooting started, and I'm just play this as Ranton's first combat. He's a younger and he's a healer by trade. His particular pact of Uranar are like bipedal polar bears, and this is his Rumspring almost, except for work instead of play. He's supposed to go out into the universe and to the galaxy, make his own way, and find his own path in life before returning to the Pact someday with resources and skills to better life for his people and all that. And that all this is going on, and it's very sudden. He's confused for a second, which is why everybody else was able to act before him. And he doesn't really know what to make of the jocular air, the kind of snipping back and forth between Josu and Ripley. It seems weird to him. With his hubris of youth, he perceives himself as a very stoic person, and he doesn't really want to give in to the temptation to join in on the banter. So he just does as he's asked. He makes his way forward to the control panels of the ship there in the cockpit, and he sees the Zanks and doesn't really perceive them as a threat. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with that. But he doesn't really know how to work the ship's weapons. But what he would like to do, I think, is to use the computers to make a vigilance check to intercept projectiles to help us protect ourselves from any guided munitions that the pirates might be able to direct towards us, which would be an average vigilance check to basically upgrade the difficulty of any guided weapon attacks against us on the pirates' turn. Would that be all right?
Yeah, sure.
It's your turn, man.
Yeah, you can do that. What's the action called?
Called intercept projectiles. It's under the additional vehicle actions table.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
And he's going to make that. First, I'm going to pull up vigilance. And it's going to get a boost die from my keen sense ability. And it's going to be 2 difficulty. Are you adding any setback to this? Any conditional modifiers?
This is like so this is like a signal jammer, basically, right? This is like you're doing E-War right now.
It's ejecting chaff and flares and that sort of thing.
Okay. So I think that, yeah, given that you're actually ejecting stuff, and I imagine that the Sushi Boat probably doesn't have actual legitimate chaff. Like, it's not a military vessel. So it's probably just like low priority shipments that you're okay maybe not making the final delivery. So
maybe just like garbage with some motor oil on it.
Yeah,
somebody's favorite chair.
Yeah, as you're ejecting this, just like,
hey, that was my chair.
There you go, perfect. So yeah, add 1 setback though to it.
Right. And at Ripley's, that was my chair. Ranton's simply gonna say, Oh, go to the ship. Sorry. And
The grades are good.
get 1 success, 1 advantage. All right. So, any attacks against our vehicle using weapons with the guided quality upgrade difficulty once until the start of my next turn.
Nice.
Awesome. And you have that advantage, right? So with that advantage, you can.
I would like to just, I think, pass that forward as the chaotic fire erupting out of the rear of being ejected out of our vehicle. Maybe it shakes the Naguli pirates a little bit and gives us a slight little edge of breathing room during whoever takes their turn next.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that'll give a boost to the next PC slot. And man, I wish there was a way that we could just pass dice to specific PC or NPC slots rather than players.
A lot of the slots, yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Cool. And with that, we switch to the NPCs. The first NPC action is going to go to the Naguli pirate, and you hear over your comms all bands broadcasting. You hear from the Naguli pirate vessel. Look, all you have to do is just stop running. It doesn't have to be this way. And he is going to actually roll a repair check, though.
I'm gonna take 1 strain from hearing that.
So was that super loud, or is it
I was
just
not
super
expecting
annoying?
it.
Okay. And
Less loud, more just sudden.
Yes.
That's exactly what the pirate is going for. He will take the setback because he's still definitely disoriented from the auditory attack that he suffered from Josu's weird truck horn.
Well, at least he came back in kind.
And my connection to the table just died. Just 1 second. This mechanics check. 3 difficulty. Oof. It's 1 advantage, though. So 2 failures, 1 advantage on the mechanics check. Then the Naguli pirate tried to do some quick repairs as his ship's not in super great shape. However, failed to do that, but managed to upgrade some of the systems to take a boost on the next. Actually, no, the Naguli pirate's not going to take that boost. That goes to the Zank, I think, that as you guys are distracted by the suddenness of the Naguli pirate's voice over your comms, the Zanks are going to take advantage of it. And Erdanton is in the same. You're in the cockpit, right? You're in the forward
Correct.
cabin. So the Zanks are going to see you, and they are going to skitter over towards you with their tiny little tardigrade stumpers. They're going to spend their maneuver to move into engaged with you, and all of a sudden you feel nipping at your actual heels as they leap at you and chomp at you, and they get that boost because you're distracted. And they do 5 damage.
Oh my god.
And a triumph, though. I'm going to go ahead and apply that triumph as a crit.
Okay.
So, well, does the 5 that pierces your soak, right?
Yeah, it's got Pierce 1, so
So it's effectively 6 if you have. Yeah, but it goes through some of your soak. Okay, cool.
I'm sorry, was it actually 6 wounds?
No, it's 5 damage, but what's your soak right now? So your soak is
Oh,
you have
4.
soak. So you effectively have 3 soak because this attack has pierce 1. So your
Okay.
soak offsets the damage that you suffer.
Wait.
So you would have rather than suffer 5 wounds, you suffer 2 wounds.
But
But you're also going to take a critical hit because I'm spending the triumph on that critical hit. Perfect. Yeah, you rolled it already. So you rolled a 27, discouraging wound. So I will get a story point, which is That works. And you have that discouraging wound carried with you until you get a chance to heal it.
Cool.
Yeah, I think that this is more just the embarrassment that Renton feels at being snuck up upon by a bunch of space rats. This is an emotional wound that you've suffered. It's not actually physical in any way. And the 3 threats, though. So with the 3 threats, you decide what happens with the 3 threats because you are the target of the attack. You could very well just have them apply as strain back to the Zanks, and they just suffer strain. It just hits their wounds because they don't.
I'd like to think that as soon as I actually got bit, Ranton having dismissed them as a threat before, he just flails and freaks out a little bit and manages to kick the Zank onto its back, because I believe I'm still trying to find the table for spending threat, but I believe the active character falls prone is a 3 threat.
Yeah, you could knock them. You could have them. You could knock them all prone. I was gonna say that you could also just have it apply as strain, and basically because they are minions, it would just be wounds that they suffer. So they would just suffer 3 wounds, which is not enough to kill one though. So
Right.
yeah, it's up to you.
Let's go with the wounds then. I like that better.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's still the same basic idea that you respond and then just start. Yeah, you're probably flailing and just kicking them all over. So behind Josu, you hear the roar of Ranton and the squeaks and squeals as the Zanks are just being flung all over the cockpit behind you.
Crazed bear behind you, but keep the ship on a straight course.
And I'm going to spend one of these GM story points right now. And from the cargo hold, you suddenly hear a thumping. I don't know if you could hear that at all or not, but...
Yep.
Okay, good. Sometimes my NVIDIA voice thing cuts out stuff I don't want it to cut out. But yeah, you hear a thumping emanating from the cargo hold behind you. And that's what I'm just spending the story point on. And it's back to the PC turns. You've also gained a range band because you're at 4 speed and the pirate interceptor is at 3 speed.
Next player gets a boost.
I'll go. Ripley, he's refueled his flyby juicer, and he's taken another hit, and so now he's pretty amped up, and he's gonna grab the comms. And I'd like to try, if possible, maybe to come over to the pirate and make a negotiation check to try to convince him that after taking that beastly shot, we've got a lot more coming from him. He could just let this one go.
Okay, I think it's going to be a coercion check then. And
if it must be.
That would definitely be a coercion. You're basically saying, we almost killed you, and we're going to kill you if you don't piss off. So I feel like that's very much coercive.
Oh, it's
yeah,
not.
but I don't have ranks in
negotiating.
Coercion. I'm kidding. Well, what about if
in
check
war?
is devastating to my skill check.
What if I make it an athletics check?
You're gonna do a performance if you can key it off of presence. No, yeah, that would be a coercion check. If you're trying to say, hey, you are going to die.
You're right. I get it. I RP'd poorly. I chose the wrong thing to say, but it is coercion. I am going to say that.
Okay. So it's against his discipline, which is fine because his discipline is garbage. He's a pirate after all. So it's 1 difficulty. It's 1 purple. And you do get that boost.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 simple success. I would imagine it would take more than 1 social check to just completely dissuade him, but at least I've made some progress. I got a little, maybe his eyebrows twitching a little or something.
I'm going to apply it just as a standard sort of social attack, so it just applies 2 wounds, and then yeah, if it gets to the point where like he gets like the halfway or something, then that's where like we start getting into like him flying away or something. But yeah, you hear nervous laughter chittering back over the comms before they shut off. But yeah, the Nguli pirate, of course, does not respond and does not peel off yet. However, you know in your bones that you spooked him at least a little bit.
Cool. And I'm going to spend my maneuver. I'm going to open up the cabin door again. And I'm going to stick my head back and be like, boss, I was thinking, like, maybe we should all get some uniforms, like all the same color with logos, like maybe some leather jackets. What do you think?
Just flannel jackets.
Flannel jackets.
No, flannel does not look good with the tuxedo pants. It's got to
It'll
be
look fine.
leather. Mine's got to be shiny, the shiny kind.
You're not wearing tuxedo pants anyway. It's flannel and jeans.
Yeah, you got no fashion sense, man. That will look at these rings. That's not gonna look. It's not gonna match at all.
And while you guys are having this back and forth, also to be clear, like Redanton and the Zanks are like flailing back and forth in between you guys. And we'll jump to the next page.
Hey, simmer down there.
God damn it, little fucking things. God, what the frick? No, get out of there.
Do you want to go, Ranton, and out of these things?
I'm not in a rush.
Having
I mean,
fun
I'll
with them?
go.
Just having fun with my new friends.
I'll spin around and use an action to gain the advantage. So they're going at speed 3, you said?
Yeah, so you have 1 speed above them right now.
Okay. Vehicle speed is 1 higher, so
you've
it's
also-
an average check.
You've also gained a range band on them. So there's a full range band between the 2 of you, which is, I need to check that, but I think it's like short rather than close.
Piloting, and this is going to be average check. Daring Aviator. And let me double check, make sure there's nothing else I can add here. Am I taking any setback for like the terrain here?
Yeah, take 1 setback for the debris field of the planetary ring. It should be, I think, it's 1 speed difference. It's 1, so I think that it's only an easy check, not average. If you look at the speed advantage difficulty.
Initiating vehicle speed is 1 higher or more is an average. If I'm lower, it's a hard. If I'm traveling at the same, it's easy. Roll those dice.
Okay, we'll do that. I think we're looking at very different tables.
I'm looking at
F1.
Yeah, I'm looking at page 229.
The ones
The
for
core.
us.
But either way, I mean, it really clearly didn't make that much of a difference because you got 6 successes and then 5 threats though, and a triumph. So
What
this is
is
a kind of
happening?
wild ride.
I like to think that at least some of those threats are coming from Ripley just in his ear. No, it cannot be. Like, at least go with suede leather. I'm not going to do the flannel thing. Maybe, hold on. I guess, what if it's a leather jacket that's lined with flannel on the inside? It'll keep us warm.
Yeah, and Josu is like sweating as he's like trying to maneuver through the field while you're like blabbing at him about this stuff.
Oh, what's this doing? Like, flips a switch.
What can I spend the triumph on here?
While you're deciding that, I think with the 5 threats though, you get the advantage, but I'm gonna apply the 5 threats as a critical hit to the vehicle. That's gonna be a vehicle crit.
Oh,
Yeah, something for Lerny to do.
Oh, I need to figure out how to do vehicle crits. I think. Oh. Oh, I don't think there's a way to do vehicle crits on the table yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll. So you're going to see the Nguli pirate roll. ignore that for the moment. This is the GM rolling for the vehicle crit. So 57. Navigation damage. The vehicle's navigation is compromised. Yeah, I think steering becomes more difficult. Basically, I'm just going to treat that as giving -1 to your handling for now.
Turn straight into a friggin'
Exactly. As like,
asteroid.
you do this crazy loop-de-loop, I think, and while Lerny is talking about like the importance of tuxedos and proper dress, you just slam into an asteroid about the same size and much more mass than your ship, and just basically bounce right off of it. It doesn't do anything. As far as you can tell, it hasn't destroyed any systems or anything, but definitely the piloting stick is a little stickier now. Do you know what you're gonna do with that Triumph?
Not really, not yet. Where's the table I was looking at? Gain the advantage is going to.
I think with the Triumph, you could apply upgrades to the Naguli Pirates checks going forward.
Upgrade their difficulty. Yeah. So, yeah, anybody who makes a combat check against the Naguli ship is upgrading that check twice. And the difficulty of all combat checks made by him are upgraded twice currently to begin with. Should I just let's see here. My maneuvers.
I mean, I would also let you inflict that Triumph as just a crit on the Naguli Pirate, too, as the debris from the shattered asteroid that you slammed into like splinters off and heads their way.
Yeah. Why don't we do that then? Yeah, I'll roll a.
Yeah, go just roll a D100 and then I'll keep track of it manually. So with an 85, that means that the weapons are damaged. So yeah, I think that as you slam into this giant chunk of ice and rock, it just splinters into 1,000 pieces. And first, a storm of icy, grainy sand obscures the vision of the Naguli pirate. And then suddenly they can see again as it passes. But then just a humongous chunk of rock just like it just scrapes under their interceptor and basically just like guts the interceptor, and you see the guns just dangling loosely from the ship.
All right, so somebody shoot him now. Somebody like right now.
Yeah, we'll move to the next PC slot.
Ooh. I guess I'll go. So yeah, Lerny is sticking their limbs all over the place. Probably can't get by to get to the guns right now, huh?
No, you can get to the guns. It would just be a maneuver.
Are you sure? there are space rats and an angry bear.
So in the fiction, yeah, it's a pretty hectic scene, but I think that mechanically speaking, yeah, it would just be a maneuver to get to the gunning station.
All right.
Difficult terrain.
Yeah,
do
so
we have
maybe
any
it'll be 2 maneuvers to get to the gunning station. So yeah, you would have to spend 2 strain. How about that?
I'm sorry for suggesting
that's a good
that.
suggestion.
Why would you do that? I was just about to say, well, I have weird limbs. I can probably get through this no problem.
Do you have flying as one of your features?
Me? I have 0G expert.
Oh no, okay, sorry. I thought you said
So
I thought you
no
had
fly-
no, I thought you had flying. Like I thought you hovered or something.
I do. That's just like the.
It's like in the fiction. Yeah, that's like a narrative flair. That's not.
Yeah, I don't
you
have it as an actual
mechanically.
talent.
Okay.
Correct. So if you're going to be a stickler, Micah.
I'm stickling.
Anyway. So Lerny's going to hear the shout from their dear captain, look over and see just the chaos that is space rats and bear, and decide that it is up to them to shoot the ship down, even though they are a terrible shot. So they're going to navigate their way over there to the guns and take that their shot.
You are upgrading this twice.
What
ability
blue?
upgrade. No, you get 2
Oh.
proficiencies. So you get the
Help me.
green yellow dice. You get 2 of those. It's like a
I have 3 green. Help me.
So,
All right, so roll
there's
2 yellow and a
green.
green.
Thank you. That's great. Thank
Yeah.
you. I am an idiot and I can't think. And
Um,
what is that difficulty-wise?
It will be you moved up 1 more range band, so it's gonna be 2 purple. Average
2
difficulty.
purple.
Yeah. It'll be
Golly.
gunnery.
Yes, that is what I
Okay, cool.
put in there.
4 successes, 1 threat. As this, right now the cockpit is basically like a Russian circus, as a bear is fighting space rats and a spherical mechanical being is like bouncing across to shoot guns at things.
Oh no, this is an arm that has shot across to basically operate the guns.
Okay, so it's like a hose,
The
like
issue
a fire
is that
hose.
there's a full fire hose going underneath the bear that is being attacked by the space rats.
Okay, perfect. But yeah, you
While
shot.
an anthropomorphic shark and a human argue about clothing.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, 4 successes, 1 threat. Those 4 successes turn into, what is the sushi boat's guns again? I will remember that one day. It has 4 damage. That's
4.
8 damage from your shot as you, it's just you hear the like the thump as you unleash a barrage of shots at the Naguli pirate interceptor. The Naguli pirate interceptor, the shots slam into the Naguli pirate interceptor, and it just careens into the debris field. It disappears into the field, but you hear over your comms, and prepare yourself. You are about to hear the Naguli pirate again. Okay, I'll be back. The Bithal host will be solved. And it just like disappears into the thing.
so
He babbles
terrible.
about the Bithal host, and
What's that guy on?
you
No, let's ask Ripley.
however, you are hearing the pounding from the cargo hull is getting louder and more frantic. Also, you are having a harder time to control the sushi boat as you are slamming into more and more debris in the ring around the planet. And you're just, you find yourself not able to weave and dodge as effectively as possible. So you're not quite out of the fire yet. So we'll go to the next PC slot. Anton, it is your turn.
Right. Anton doesn't want to he definitely wants to go check out what the noise is below decks, but he's also just doesn't want to leave these rats to be dealt with by everyone else. He doesn't like to make his problems other people's problems. Is it possible for me to just grab them by the scruff of their non-existent necks and take them with me with the intention of throwing them out of whatever's making noise down there?
Yeah, I think yes, because I like that. We'll call it an opposed athletics check.
Ready?
And their athletics is not great. They have athletics of 1. So it's just me 1 purple in difficulty. I'm going to spend a story point to upgrade the difficulty of that, though, as it's a seething, writhing mass of squirmy water bears that you're trying to carry with you. So it's a lot. It's hard to make.
It's a rat king.
A rat king. We had a goose queen in one episode. Now we have the rat king. Nevertheless, you succeed. You manage to keep your grip. Ranton, with his giant bare arms, scoops up the Zanks into a sort of hug-like grip, and just, you manage to carry them forward. You got an advantage as well as a success with that advantage. Do you have any idea what you'd like to do with it?
I don't really.
You wrap them in a really good football hold so that you can throw them really easily.
I could give you a piece of I could give you a piece of information.
Yeah. That.
So I think that Radanton is the only one in the crew that has Starcana powers, right? And I think that every time you realize that every thump that you hear coming from the cargo hold, it doesn't just reverberate through the air as noise. You can also feel it reverberating through whatever ether or Starcana or magic, whatever it is, whatever the substance and medium is that allows Starcana to work. You can feel it reverberate through this like primal plane.
I gruffly say before I exit the cockpit or whatever, the bridge, I was gonna say that thing making noise down there is also pulsing magic. Be right back. And stalk off with these, like, just a tardigrade in each paw.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm already gone.
Yeah, as Josu like calls back and the door just like slides shut again. I feel bad for Josu. I feel like this happens a lot to Josu actually. Is that because this also happened with Ripley where you tried to follow up and Ripley's like, I'm already gone. I'm just bye.
Yeah.
But cool. Yeah, so you head into the cargo hold. There's no more NPCs to really act. Well, that's not true. The Zanks are still squirming in your arms, so they are going to. They're just going to snap and bite at you. And I will apply a setback to them just because I think that it's probably you have a grip on them, so it's hard for them to get really good leverage when they're trying to bite at you.
You know how cats look really embarrassed when you pick them up by the neck? I think there's that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I don't like tardigrades don't really have eyes.
Right, yeah, it doesn't really translate,
they're...
but somehow their body language is communicating despair
like
and embarrassment.
All 8 of their little stumpers are like dangling down in like a sad moping fashion. And yeah, they're despairing too much to even successfully bite you. They rolled 0 successes on that attack and 4 threats, in fact. So with those 4 threats, do you have anything you'd like to do? Would you like to just apply it as straight up damage? That will basically kill 2 of them.
Yeah, if I can reduce this problem, I might as well. And I'll just transfer the remaining live one in case to my other paw, in case somehow someone got onto our ship and I can throw this.
Well, I think that you still have their body, right?
Yeah. The idea of throwing them was more. It would be more distracting if it was alive at the time.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think that like as they try to bite at you and snap at you, Ranton like tenses up a little bit too much, and you hear like a very high pitched snap, and then 2 of them just go limp, and their little stumpers stop wiggling, and it's actually really sad and distressing. And you suddenly feel really bad. I'm not gonna have you take strain, but I feel like you should. And we go back to the last NPC slot. The pirate is off and disappeared into the distance. You can give chase if you want and fully destroy him, but he like already began to weave into the debris and everything. So the danger will be from the debris ring. And we go back to the top of the PC slots as you hear more and more banging. And I'm gonna have Josu make a dangerous driving check. 2 difficulty, just an average dangerous driving check.
Okay.
This will not be your action. You're just trying to basically not be obliterated by asteroids.
You said average difficulty?
Yes.
4 successes, 1 advantage.
Yeah, and Josu manages to weave the sushi boat through the. Oh, sorry. I should have upgraded one of those, but I forgot it, so it's fine for now. You managed to weave through, and the upgrade wouldn't have made a difference anyway. That amount of successes. The debris field, it is still very hard to steer, but you manage to stop yourselves from being hit by any more of the debris. You hear the thumping continuing.
I'm going to decelerate down to 2, which is going to cause a system strain.
Okay.
I think that was... Yeah, there was a maneuver. I think at this point he's just trying to he's going to use a second maneuver to start to reposition out of the debris fields.
Okay. Yeah, like I think you're trying to like move the ship above or below the sort of planar axis of the ring.
Yeah, he wants to go down and check on what Ransom just rambled about as he went down, but got to get the ship somewhere safe before he feels like he can get out of the driver's seat.
All right. So yeah, I think that'd just be another average piloting check as you're trying to like just maneuver out of the ring. And this time, upgrade the difficulty of it. Sorry, forgot about that last time, just because of the critical hit that you suffered.
Okay. One success.
Yeah, and you managed to barely do it, but yeah, you move through a field of particulate ice, and I think that you even turn on. There are wipers probably on the front of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you like turn on the wipers, and then suddenly it clears, and it is just clean, pristine, pure void in front of the ship for a change, and you are hovering just above the ring around the system. For just a brief moment, you get a glimpse of the system. It is of the planet that you have found yourself in orbit around. It is a relatively lush plain from here that there are just plains of grass, like just an entire continent of just grasslands. It You don't know much about planetary colonization or settling or anything, but you know enough that this looks like it. This is definitely probably like a really good farming planet. It probably makes like really good crops. It just looks like a place where you do a lot of farming.
Yeah, is this the destination or is this just...
This is just a planet that's in the system. You actually picked it. You're in the same system as where you picked up the mysterious package, but but you're at a different planet. You were on your way to the gate before when you got jumped by this pirate ambush and ended up in orbit around here. And yeah, also you can see like the pirate ships are like limping way off in the distance at this point, like just like puttering along, trying to stay hidden in the debris, but it's like bouncing off of different asteroids like a pinball as he's just failing at everything. The pirate's having a bad day. Who would like to take the next PC slot?
Go.
Go for it.
Anton is having used my maneuver last turn. Am I now in the cargo bay?
Yeah, you are now in the cargo hold.
Okay.
And before you is the metallic crate. There is a... It's not hinged, but there's a lid that sort of pops off and folds off, but it's a hidden hinge system. And you can see that the force of the pounding is coming from that crate, and you can see that the force of the pounding is lifting that lid just like a little bit every time you hear like a thump 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 thump.
Not really knowing what to make of this, I figure out if there's a way I can use wells to figure out what's in there, or it's more just a... Now, why don't I just walk up and tap the top of the crate to see if, I don't know, stops banging around.
You're opening the crate or you're slamming down on the crate?
Oh, it's making noise at me. I'm going to make noise back at it by just pounding my paw on it a few times.
Okay. Let's call that a maneuver, I think, because that doesn't sound like an action-worthy thing. And yeah, as you slam down on the crate, do you just like slam down once really hard with a bear roar or something, or are you like slamming down again and again, like tapping
Just once.
out? Just once. The banging stops for a moment, and then it picks up and it gets even more frantic and at a
Okay.
higher frequency.
I would like to use, if I could, utility to just sense what's in the crate. I know we're not supposed to open it, but I didn't say anything about that.
Yeah, okay. That's yeah. Yeah, that is a narrative restriction. Mechanically, you can definitely look in the crate if you really want to. But yeah, I don't have any story points, so I can't upgrade the difficulty of it. But go ahead and roll an easy utility spell. So if you have any talents that help with utility casting, they would factor in here. But otherwise, it'll just be your primal magic against 1 purple. Wow. Okay. Yeah. 1 success, 1 advantage. You sense. So I'm going to give you a little bit of ancillary information with that 1 advantage, unless you have a specific thing in mind.
No, go for it.
Okay. So yeah, you sense that there is a primal magic thing in the box. Whatever's in the box actually is exuding Starcana, primal Starcana. More than that, though, with that advantage, you sense that it's the success at a baseline. It's exuding more than just primal Starcana. It seems to be exuding all Starcana. There's divine and arcane as well. It's just exuding everything, but it's not like flooding the area or anything like that. It seems to be very much limited to very close to whatever is in the box in terms of its field of effect. With the advantage, though, you can also sense that there is, and I think this is specifically because of your primal magic, your primal Starcana, that there is a sentience, there is a mind associated with whatever it is that's in the box. There is something that thinks and learns inside the box.
Well, given Ranton's dedication to life, as a concept, because he's a healer, this would be fascinating, and imagine he'd be dumbfounded by it a little bit. I think he'd have the presence of mind to, call for help. I don't know what to do about this. I think might be in beyond my depth, even as our only magic user. Any further action here is going to require a group decision. Hey, there's a thing in here and it's alive. We'll call that my turn.
Okay.
Hey guys.
Weird.
Oh gosh, is it my turn then?
It can be. I think you just volunteered it to be your turn.
Okay, cool, great, good. So you have a pirate limping away. We're above a planet filled with corn. Got it.
Space corn.
And there's something in a box. What's in the box? Learny, ever inquisitive, ever wanting to be helpful. After celebrating their amazing shot, here's their dear friend shouting for help because something's in a box. And scuttles their little weird body down into the cargo hold to check out this box here, even though they really can't do anything. to assist, but they want to be there for emotional support.
Maybe this is something that Ranton actually. This is not uncommon for Ranton. Is that like looking at packages and be like, guys, there's something in this delivery, and learns like, I know, it's a delivery. What we
I know.
do.
Do you realize that things go in boxes? Isn't that cool? Yeah, Lerny really can't do anything to assist, unfortunately. But they want to just put their body down there. And while they're at it, they've gone down into the cargo bay and inserted their little arms into the ship and are just gonna quickly just heal some strain on the ship as well, just in case.
Okay, I was gonna say you could try to open the box. So opening the box would be a hard mechanics check or a skullduggery check.
Oh, dude, let's open that box. I didn't know it was a mechanics check.
Yeah, it'd be a 3 purple mechanics check or a 2 purple average skullduggery.
Oh my god. Okay, never mind. Now that Lerny has realized that they can actually help, maybe. They're going,
We classify that as help
help?
in retrospect.
Yeah, Lerny's still a little bit naive. Lerny came down and was like, oh, there's something in that box. You want to know what's in that box? I got you, buddy. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Oh,
It's all happening much too quickly for Ranton, who is just and flabbergasted by whatever's in the.
Here's the thing, though. He's got little spaghetti arms, so they might not succeed in opening this. So it's mechanics plus, you said 3 purple?
Yeah, a hard mechanics check.
Rude. That's all I've got
It's
to
not
say.
that bad. It's
Oh.
good enough that you get a success. 1 success, 1 threat as Lerny tries to How is Lerny mechanics? Are you like just banging on the box, or is
No,
are you
so
actually
actually,
getting it?
Lerny's spaghetti arms have a lot of really cool little functions. So actually, at the end, these little kind of like flat bits come out, latch underneath like a barely seen lip in the box, and just lever it open. Tunk.
Yeah,
Real quick.
There's a very quick but punctuated screech as the metal bends in ways it probably wasn't designed to bend in, but nevertheless, you're able to apply your mechanical knowledge and open the box at its weakest point. Inside the box, it takes a strain from that 1 threat as Lerny. You see what's in the box, and inside the box there is a small relative to the rest of the crew, but probably about Lerny's size, actually.
Aw.
Pyramid. It is of a material that Lerny immediately recognizes as a mechanic, as someone trained in mechanics, to be the same material as what the gates are made out of, actually. And it's a small pyramid-shaped thing, but it has legs, little sort of spaghetti legs and little spaghetti arms, very similar, in fact, to Lerny, protruding from
So
it.
cute.
And the reason Lerny takes strain, though, is as you look at it, you notice thousands, hundreds of little void black gems, perfectly spherical gems faceted into the sides of the pyramid, all over it. And as you fully open the box, the little void black gems, a light flickers on, and a little sort of a soft red light flickers to life within them, and they all go on at once, and you immediately realize that these are eyes for whatever this contraption, this creature is. It's not necessarily scary, but it is a little bit unsettling as it looks around. All of the hundreds of eyes focus their little red glow around and then focus up on you. And suddenly emanating from the pyramid creature, you hear, Where am I? What is happening now? Who are you? Oh my god, what is this? What's happening right now? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And yeah, and we'll move it to next PC slot. But actually we're done with structured time at this point. We're out of initiative order and we're into narrative time. However, while this is happening, the Redanton, you feel an immediate uptick in the tension of the primal Starcana around you. It's no longer like having this sort of like heartbeat effect or this sort of thumping effect in sequence to the thumps, but now you just feel like a building tension.
Okay. I think I would like to do my best to communicate the whole we mean harm thing. And I think Ranton's like just natural response to wanting to communicate that, apart from saying, hey, it's okay, just apart from just verbally, I think he would cast heal and try and assuage its anxiety in the form of.
Are you saying this with those dead rats in your hands?
Oh no, I dropped those. I had no use for dead rats. Those are on the stairs between here and the bridge.
Do you still have the one remaining live? God, what's it called? Zank.
Zinc.
Zank. Yeah, Zank in your hand.
I don't know. I think I might have just dropped it out of sheer like absent-mindedness upon like having opened the box. And maybe because I killed its buddies, it skittered off into an access panel somewhere.
I think that's totally fair. Like maybe as the thing spoke in its gibberish language, like maybe Rantan was just like in just astonishment drops. Yeah, the one living Zank, and it just like skitters off back to hide behind another terminal to jump out at you at some other point.
That's what they do. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast heal.
Yeah, you can all roll your recovery roll now, by the way, which is cool or discipline.
Yeah, before I do that, recovery is either cool or discipline, right?
Yeah, just a straight cool or discipline 0 purple check, simple check.
There's 2 advantages too.
I think you just lose advantages on a roll like this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I realized I muted myself.
Ah.
So I do 2 advantages translates into 1 strain recovery because I hate just like throwing out advantage results like that.
Actually, does that count considering?
Yeah, Dave is right. Technically, you do. This is controversial, but I'm fairly confident that rules as written, you do just lose advantage when you roll the recovery check.
Was this supposed to be strain from? Would I recover this strain considering we're dealing with this dude right now? I'm gonna keep my 1 strain. I think that makes more sense.
Yeah, no, sorry. This would not be. Yeah, you're right. I think that you should keep this strain. You recovered other strain. Wow, Ripley's so freaking cool though.
Ripley's super cool.
I
With
think
all
at this
that
point,
cool, he's in the cockpit, and he's seriously, boss. You would look freaking great in a leather jacket.
He's also probably got like his little flyby straws too, right? He's just like sitting there saying that and going,
just sipping.
Yeah.
Is that like a vape pen? Just...
I think at this point, Josu is now ignoring what Ripley is saying.
Who's continuing to talk about it anyway. Just like at 90 miles an hour, he's just like talking about leather jackets. He's talking about the sushi boat. He's just looking, hey, look at that over there. That planet is beautiful. That color of green, it's one of my favorites. Maybe we could think about putting that in a logo.
Yeah, but you didn't kill that. You didn't kill that pirate ship. Sushi boat stays for now.
I don't see any pirate ship. How can you tell me that I didn't get rid of the pirate ship?
I was there.
I know. I know
Ripley in real life. I think everyone knows a Ripley in real life.
Lernie's random appendage came up and hit the fire button.
So is Ranson doing? So you're rolling a heal?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
trying to perform a heal on the pyramid boy or girl, pyramid thing, whatever, pyramid creature.
What the frack is that?
Oh,
Sort
it would still
reach the
be.
doorway.
It would be. I gotta check the magic tables. I'm pretty sure that would still be an average difficulty.
My bad.
No worries. No, it would be easy. So yeah, just roll a purple.
Yeah, not.
Okay, so you still get your 2 successes and 1 advantage as a result.
We're not in structured gameplay anymore, so figure out what that means.
Yeah, with the 2 successes, the pyramid creature he isn't harmed. He isn't hurt. I think that it absorbs the magic that you cast at him, the Starcana that sort of exudes from you. You definitely can tell that the pyramid creature is just basically like consuming it, and it's very easily flowing into the pyramid creature as well. It's an anchor or a focal point for Starcana.
Insofar as my attempt to get it to calm down, does it have any discernible effect?
Yeah, it leaps. I'm trying to think. Okay, so it leaps out at you, and I'm also I need to move this. I need to move this forward. So in a totally indecipherable way, because it is a sort of smooth black stone material pyramid with a bunch of red glowy eyes and spaghetti limbs that like leaps out of the box and runs up to you, Rantan, and leans very closely to you. Who are you? What are you trying to help me? What can you help me? Where are my friends? Where are the builders? Where are the god people? And you can feel the magic, you can feel Starcana flow out of you and begin to drain from you. Not to a point where it's like causing you harm, but there's like a magic pull coming from you. Yeah, what is everyone else doing in the meantime?
Oh my gosh, Lernie is immediately zooming up to this little cutie and being like, "I'll be your friend. Look at us! Look at how similar we look!" And just shoots out his little spaghetti arms and wibbles them around a little bit.
Look at our noodly arms.
Look at our noodly arms.
So is Lernie like actually touching the pyramid?
Oh, no, just near the pyramid creature, and Renton just kind of wibbling around, really excited because he is not usually around creatures that look like them. Pretty exciting.
I think at this point, Joshua is getting to the door and seeing what's happening and going, "Oh, what's that? What? Why is the crate open? We're not supposed to open these crates."
My bad.
It wanted out. It was very upset.
What? Ripley, I thought we said no more living things.
Viciously silent now, I see, Ripley.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it.
I said, Ripley, I thought we agreed no more living creatures.
I didn't bring anything on the boat.
You got us this job.
Look, I don't ask questions. I ask for money.
And
A guy says, "Hey, I got a box." I say, "Hey, I'm gonna need some money." He says, "Here's the money." I say, "Okay, give me the box." And then I take the box. We put the box on the boat, and then we take the box where it needs to go. That's all I know.
Box again.
Yeah, as Ripley begins to speak more and talk faster and is taking over the significant majority of vocal communication that's occurring in the hold, the pyramid creature moves over to Ripley and just seems to be examining him as he's talking more and more, and you hear him go, "You seem to be saying quite a few things. Keep on communicating, please."
Hey,
The
I'm getting close there.
more
Watch out, you're gonna get my suit dirty.
suit dirty. I see. This makes. Please help me. This makes sense to me. Do you understand me? Do you understand me now? Is my verbal communications, is this working?
Yeah, I can hear you. Weird or whatever. I understand what you're saying.
Are you the builders?
I made one of those dioramas once when I was in grade school.
You are not a builder. And a pulse of Starcana just explodes out of the pyramid creature, and all of these ship systems light up with a brilliance, a thousandfold brilliance, briefly, and then explode, and everything shuts down, and suddenly the ship is drifting towards the planet. Josu, you have time to do some sort of check if you want to do like a controlled landing or something, but you are cascading towards the planet. The klaxons that were sounding when you were under attack are now back on again at full power.
Oh crap! Oh crap! All right. He slides back up into the cockpit and starts trying to control a landing here. Can somebody calm that thing down? I don't know what it just did, but
Yeah, and the pyramid creature begins to scurry away.
All right, who wants to be Sigourney Weaver?
I'm
what kind
happy
of piloting
to.
check am I making here?
It will be a hard piloting check with. It's gonna be two setback. It's gonna be one setback for the critical system issue from before. It'll be another setback for going through the ring in the debris field as you're being pulled back down towards the planet. And I think a third setback makes sense just because you're basically spiraling out of control. It's like you're in a tailspin.
Okay. All right. So 4 setback.
Yeah, 4 setbacks total. And you do
Um.
have story points to spend, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a story point here. There's a lot of.
We'll
I
see.
am still using Daring Aviator.
Nice. Wow, that is wild. Okay, while Josu is like a leaf on the wind with the sushi boat, what are what's happening in the cargo hold? What are Ripley, Renton, and Lerny doing?
It floats like a butterfly.
Ripley's talking to Lerny now, and he's like, "So I told him that we should get some leather jackets, but he doesn't even listen."
Like, yeah, I feel like the ship is like spinning out of control, so you're like probably like slightly pinned to the walls from centrifugal force, and this is like what Ripley is talking about. But okay, great.
Renton is gonna push past.
That's on.
Push past what?
Renton's gonna push past Lerny and Ripley and growl. Be lucky if we survive this, and I don't make a shark leather jacket, and like tears off after wherever the pyramid critter's going.
Okay.
And shouts, "Wait, no, come back. We can be friends."
I can also remove the Zank from the table. Go ahead and roll a average survival check, but definitely with 4 setbacks as well, as you are like trying to track while this is all going on.
Wow.
I think, but Ranton also, or Renars have a bonus to survival or something, I think. Or maybe I'm misremembering that.
I'm gonna upgrade this because, man, this is a tough roll.
Yeah,
With
go for spend a story point. Yeah.
4 setbacks.
Did Josu upgrade as well? Tyler, did you upgrade? Tyler?
Oh, sorry. I thought I was unmuting and I muted. Yeah, it was spent.
Okay, you did spend a story point too. Okay, so I should.
It shows up on the table. For some reason, the bot didn't acknowledge it. Maybe I didn't hit it. Maybe. Yeah, that's weird.
Maybe you're cheating.
Could be.
Trying to sneak those story points.
No, I see. For some reason, the table acknowledged and was acknowledging the rolls, but the bot it didn't get to the bot, and now I had to refresh.
It's fine. We got it. 1 success and 2 threats on the survival check. Oh man. Okay, so I think Ranton, you manage to. Yeah, you manage to leap and grab a hold of the pyramid bot before it gets away. And however, with the 2 threat though, it is whatever gains in gaining its trust you had made before, it is now freaking out fully, and it is fighting back against your hold and trying to escape. You are not the builders. You are not. The host is coming. Find me the builders, please. I need to find the builders. And yeah, I think there's another burst of raw Starcana energy just pulses out from it, and it sort of pulses into space. Were your characters on the outside of the ship and looking at the ship, you would see this almost ripple in space just emanate out, and the ice and stone and rock of the ring around the ship that Josu is managing to like glide you guys around without hitting them, they immediately, as the ripple hits them, they all begin to turn to rust or tainted, muddy water, almost blood colored water where the ripple hits them.
Didn't the pirate say something about the host also?
Maybe. But yes, the pirate did mention the host. Yeah, is Lerny doing anything? I'm gonna give you guys.
I was gonna say, yeah, Lerny. I'm trying to decide because like
Sure.
Lerny's a little bit torn right now. Lerny's absolutely smitten with this new creature, but also very much recognizes that they need to be linked in to the ship at the moment, just in case Josu needs any mechanical assistance with what's happening. So I think Lerny has like pushed them a little bit thin. They have partially just in case, trying to monitor everything, but also stretched as far as they possibly can over Torrent and the pyramid creature, and they're trying to still wiggling one arm in front trying to shout, "Who are the builders? How can we help you? We can help you find them."
Can I
I don't
assist
think
with this?
yeah. Okay, you want that? Do you want to roll that as a check? Are you trying to like calm the pyramid bot down? Okay.
Like I was gonna say, yeah, try to be like friendly, everything like that. Lerny's a little bit spastic in this instance. Like loves all creatures, not great at communication, but always tries anyway. So
I think that'll be a charm check.
Yeah.
Ripley, I think that Ripley like catches on to what Lerny is doing and is able to peel himself away from talking about clothes for a moment.
Yeah, trust me. Listen, when I was a kid, my sister lost her favorite cat, and we had to go search in the neighborhood for it. Found it lickety split. It was no problem. We got your back. We'll find a guy with a hammer, this builder dude or whatever.
Wait, am I getting a boost from this?
I think so. Ripley is like the most spiritually draining character I think we've ever played with at this point.
It's just not how I love this because this is not how I envisioned Ripley at all, and this is my favorite thing that's ever happened.
So yeah, you can get the assist. The assist will do so.
Ripley has 2 ranks, and three green or whatever, like total. Three dice.
Tokens.
2 of them are yellow. Yes.
Okay.
So how does that help me? What do I do?
So
You
you
like
take
one
the
blue?
between the two of you, you take the highest characteristic, so the highest green, and then the highest number of ranks.
But wait, do you have ranks in charm?
Me? No.
And what's your presence? I'm guessing it's 2.
My presence is sorry. Yeah, presence is 2. There we go.
So you'll be using Ripley's
Great.
stats, but you'll be giving a boost to Ripley's roll.
Great.
So I guess Ripley's
great.
really trying to do that. Like Ripley's in very Ripley fashion, Ripley has taken over the conversation and made the conversation about Ripley, and is now making the roll. So it'll be a charm. It'll be a hard charm check with 2 setbacks given the circumstances, but you also get the boost.
Do you want to roll it though? I don't want to take your roll from you.
Oh, go ahead, please. Jeez.
Okay, you said there were setbacks?
Yeah, 2 setbacks given the circumstances, given that Rantan is like grappling with the pyramid bot, and you're also spiraling you're doing a controlled descent.
And
Descent. Yeah, and you get the boost from Lerny.
yeah, and a massive stroke of luck, Lerny has actually got knack for it.
And you also
Charm.
nice. And you also have story points to spend if you would like to flip those delicious, delicious story points.
I'm not going to give you more fodder to use against us.
Yeah, I set this up with the knack for it, so.
Okay.
You know what? I'll use it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh, that's painful.
2 failures, 4 advantages. I think that's appropriate though, given Ripley. That's so many failures on those dice though too.
Yeah.
That the difficulty dice just basically were all 2 double failures and then a failure and a threat, which is like crazy.
This is why we need those silky smooth branded jackets. Wouldn't have failed if we had those.
What's the jacket from Driver that he has? Is it Scorpion?
Yeah. Ooh, is it a scorpion? I think. Yeah, I think it's a scorpion.
I imagine something like that though. That's the kind of jacket that I imagine that you guys would have.
Irony of it all is when Josu finally breaks and gets us these jackets, it's going to be a big chunk of sushi on the back.
It'll be a big. It'll be like a fish head on a sushi roll. But yeah, so 2 failures, 4 advantages. You do not succeed at charming the. You do not succeed at charming the pyramid.
I'm so upset.
With those 4 advantages, I think that. So what I'm thinking is that just basically you're able to distract the pyramid bot from pulsing any more of the Starcana energy that seems to be highly disruptive to the ship's operations, so that you are able to eventually bring the ship in for a not smooth, but at least not catastrophic and very clearly repairable landing on the planet. That's what I would give you for those 4 advantages. Because I'm going to change this to the next scene here in a second.
I love the idea that the pyramid bot is even the pyramid bot is so just derailed by Ripley's constant stream. And it's just, I need to take a break here for a moment and just come back to myself.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah, the pyramid bot. So do you have a different idea for the advantages, Dave?
I was actually going to suggest pretty much what you said, just like that I said the right combination of things. Like he's not calmed down, he doesn't trust us, but at least stopped it from pulsing anymore. So that's exactly what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. And the pyramid bot, all of its eyes turn back to Erdantan as you're grabbing him, and he looks at you and goes, "Your companion is very overly communicative. I will be resting now. Good night." and he just shuts off and goes inert for the moment as you guys plummet, controlled thanks to Josu's skillful piloting, down to the planet, and we see the sort of smoke trails as
Very skillful
you race
plummeting.
across the sky. Yeah, and just crash into a field.
Wait, do you have the crash landing talent?
I have crash positions, but that only
That one.
affects me.
Ah, okay.
I think there's a higher rank of it, maybe that I can affect others if I remember correctly.
I just couldn't remember which one did that, but yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah, you're not really taking it's not really taking a critical hit that's gonna hit. Well, yeah. So I think that it only affects you. So what I'll say that is that everyone else roll a hard 3 purple athletics or coordination check as you try and not break your neck, because no matter how smooth a crash landing is, it's still a crash landing.
Can't break
Josu
my neck. I'm a robot.
knows how to not.
So crash positions just reduces that damage if I take any. It doesn't.
Oh, it just
It
reduces.
doesn't mean I don't
Oh,
take
okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, also roll it. So it'll be 3 purple. Will be the difficulty.
So it was
And-
athletics or what?
or coordination.
Or
You can
coordination,
choose
thank
whichever one
you.
you want. Yeah. And for every failure you get in it, it is 1 wound as you slam into the various structures of the ship.
Robot.
Whoa! Ripley does like a cartwheel.
Oh wow, Ripley did amazing. Yeah, Ripley had 2 successes and 1 threat. You still take strain from the threat as you're doing the cartwheels, but you're still having to coordinate the cartwheels. Anton takes a wound as you just slam into, I think, the side of the cargo hold as the ship goes down, and you lose your grip on the pyramid bot for the moment. Josu, 1 success. You don't even need to apply your crash position. And Lerny, two successes, 4 threats.
Yeah, weird
Do you,
one.
do you have 1 rank in coordination?
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah, 2 successes and 4 threats. Yeah, I also take the 4 strain as you again are manage not to hurt yourselves and everything, but you still are very shaken. You crash land. The ship zooms in and does that skipping stone bouncing across the fields, and then that skid and like the very tropey skidding to a screeching stop. Not above a cliff or anything, but it's still in the middle of this large field. You
Cornfield.
are not in a cornfield. You don't know what field you're in quite yet, as you are still inside the ship. However, the ship is totally off. It's powered down and not operable at the moment. In the darkness, and while you are still recovering from the crash landing, you hear a thrum as the pyramid bot boots back up, and then Rantan, I think you're the only one that hears it, but you hear like the pitter patter of its little spaghetti feet as it click clacks across the steel floors of the ship, and then I think you all hear a door hatch open, and it was like, "Ee!" And then Rantan, you know that the pyramid bot has leapt out into the field, but maybe no one else does, just because you could track him up to that point.
One question: is this considered an encounter?
No, this is not an encounter. You cannot roll your.
But it was an encounter with almost death. I have second wind. I'm trying to heal strain.
Oh, do you have?
I have
something
second
you
wind.
do once per encounter, right?
Yeah.
So you can do that as you enter the next encounter. But this is strain that you are carrying with you into the next encounter. Otherwise, it doesn't have really a point to it. If you can heal it immediately.
All right, so we've lost our friend.
I hope this is a breathable atmosphere.
Yeah, tell me about it. Some sort of like climbing up to the hatch and learning we got a lot of work to do.
Would you like me to check the atmosphere before you exit the ship?
So again,
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
the hatch is open though too. So,
Oh, what?
As
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot because he left.
yeah.
Ranton collects
hat-
himself.
I'm an idiot.
As Ranton collects himself, he just says, "Our cargo/friend left. He's gone now."
I'll jump up there and try to see if I can get a bead on which way he's going, at least.
Sure, yeah. As soon as you exit the hatch, you
Struck by just how much corn there is in this field that's not a cornfield.
okay, yeah. So first, you don't see the pyramid bot.
Hey, I don't see the
Bot is not here.
pyramid bot.
But you see some of the. What you do see is you have landed in a cultivated field. In fact, you have landed in what you know to be a field of. Bummer, I had this written down and I forgot what it was. It's a. Let me just see if I can find this again. Otherwise, I'll make it up on the spot. But I remember thinking it was a really good idea this morning. What I came up with, what this was, and I'm really annoyed that I forgot to write it down. Okay, I
Micah,
can't
you
find
forgot to write it down because corn was always the answer.
it. It isn't quite. Okay, I remember what it is now. So you have landed in this field. It is like corn, in fact. It's like a cross between corn and wheat. It is. Imagine if corn grew but didn't have husks, so you could see the kernels. But instead of just kernels, it was like they had like little almost fluted tips from the kernels.
It's like pampas grass, but with teeth.
You know, canna lily seeds. They're.
Oh yeah,
I don't
that
know
normal
if
plant.
you. It's a plant. It's a common household plant. I'm sorry that I've become once I had a child I've become a very suburban man and now I just like, oh yeah, I'll just go to Home Depot and buy plants. But canna lily is a very common plant, all right? So it has these little like fluted seeds and this is what it looks like. The corn kernels, which would otherwise be kernels, are like these little they have like little leaves off of them that stick out and they're purple, of course, because it's space corn. You have landed in this large field of it. It's clearly cultivated. This is a staple plant for Galactic Society. And in the distance, you see a settlement, a small settlement, probably a couple miles away. It wouldn't take too long to make your way to the settlement. So, Ripley, I think that it would be logical to Ripley that if something were to head in any direction, it would head towards the settlement. But as Ripley is taking this all in, you see briefly in the distance, a few hundred feet away from you, actually in the direction of the settlement, the grass waver. And really, actually, as soon as you call back to your companions to tell them what you're seeing, another pulse erupts from that location, and the ground, the field immediately begins to turn to a model gray and black. And go ahead and make an average perception check, Ripley. So one
One success, one advantage.
Perfect. And you notice that rust has appeared on your ship as soon as the pulse hit it, and it seems to be actively creeping, albeit very slowly, across the ship hull. With the advantage, you realize that you hear the local fauna, the chitters and wildlife sounds of the local wildlife. As soon as the pulse went out, those chitters began to immediately take on this pained and almost death rattle like hue.
The local flora and fauna do.
Yes.
Is this rust just spreading across the ship, or is it spreading like to the surrounding stuff?
So
Like
the
plant
rust
life.
the rust is spreading across the ship. The plant life is beginning to turn this mottled gray and black color and wilt. Actually, and I think that those little like fluted kernels that I had mentioned earlier, you see them wilt and just fall off the stalks in immense quantities.
Ripley pokes his head down into the ship. And he's, guys, this is something's pretty weird out here, and he explains what's happening with the
What else is new?
aforementioned. Yeah, I think the ship's getting eaten by rust, and that's like killing the plants or something. I don't know.
I moved to start climbing up as well.
Okay, yeah, as you take a perch up. I think that's like the ship is like maybe like it's slightly on its side or something. So as you're leaving the exit hatch, you're elevated above the ground. You're not like you have a height advantage over everything in the immediate area, and the land around you is relatively flat otherwise. Lerny and Erdanton, are you guys doing anything?
Since it looks like we're gonna have to go look for this thing, Anton grabs his gear and like medical bag and is just gonna follow Ripley.
I am wondering, would it matter at all to try to do, like, if I'm connected into the ship, to try to do a quick, like, search if we know anything about the area or anything about anything that's happening? Science, knowledge, what have you? Check.
Sure. The ship is not powered right now and is suffering like a series of cascading mechanical failures, but you could do
But I'm a
an
mechanic.
average. So I would say you could do an average knowledge check with an appropriate knowledge skill, which I think would be, where's your knowledge skills? Did I ever click on the right?
There's culture, there's science. I was thinking this one would be science.
Science or Starcana, I would say either or.
I would do science because I'm a ribbit.
That's fine. Yeah, you could do that if you wanted to try and like loop into power something on the ship on long enough to like hook into the local
that's
data
more
network.
what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
I think that would also
like
be an
harder
average.
one.
I would give it average, but it would be one setback because of
Where's
the
my-
creeping rust. But an average mechanics check.
Oh, mechanics, not knowledge.
No, there'd be an average mechanics check to turn on a terminal at least long enough that you can look.
That I can then do my knowledge check.
Yeah,
Okay.
you could search into. You wouldn't be doing a knowledge check, Ivan. This would just be you doing like a network search or something.
Okay. Oh Lord, hold on. Give me one moment. I've terribly destroyed everything. Boop,
I don't
beep, boop, beep.
think
Mechanics.
the Starcana campaign setting book goes into what the equivalent of the internet is. Like, I don't think it's like a HoloNet in Starcana canonically, but in Table Flip Starcana, there is a HoloNet.
Okay, so that's
into this network.
Average difficulty, 2 purples, 1 black, right? For the setback.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can do it. 2 successes, 1 threat.
2 successes, 1 threat. Okay, that is. I'm not gonna apply the threat as a strain or anything, but I'm going to. So with the 2 successes, you are able to power on with your own power source the comms terminal long enough to access the local data networks and do some real quick searching. Because you're an RD, you can do this like all very quick blink of an eye type searching. And you learn that, particularly in recent years, there has been this new Starcana phenomenon observed called bleeds. And it's places where specific types of Starcana just overflow or bleed into a location and corrupt it in a particular way associated with a particular Starcana. The threat is that you don't know, you're not able to keep it on long enough to figure out what bleed this might be. You are positive that this is some sort of bleed, but you don't know what kind of bleed it is.
Cool. Once everything once I can't keep anything on long enough, I'm gonna hover myself on out to Ranton and give him this information, as he's the resident expert in Starcana.
So
Roll
what?
up your back.
We this
Be
thing
like,
is like a mobile
some
bleed
sort of
site.
bleed. That's all I found. I'm not really sure. You're the Starcana expert.
Yeah, expert. Don't,
Any chance you have any knowledge about how to shut down bleeds by any chance?
so my only knowledge rank is in science, actually, not in Starcana.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was weird too, but it's a fun choice. I think it makes sense with having also like skill in medicine. Like it
Yeah.
has a logic to it. If I'm an intuitive magic user, I don't necessarily know anything about it. It's just a thing I do.
What if
Yeah, the way that I built
you get an
Ranton was
advantage to check this out? Because I've given you a little bit of information, so you get a little boost.
okay. So I will give you this off the bat. Ranton definitely does not know how to stop a bleed. In fact, I don't think Ranton would. You might know what bleeds are, and we could roll a knowledge check, Starcana. I would give you a boost as a result of your intuitive knowledge of Starcana.
And also because Lerny has pom-pom spaghetti arms as well and is cheerleading you on.
Lerny's like, with Lerny's spaghetti arms, they're like massaging your back real slowly as you're like thinking hard about
I
it.
believe in you, buddy. You can intuit
You
this
got this.
obscure knowledge.
But you, without even doing a check, you definitely know that bleeds are not something that you stop. Bleeds are something you deal with or flee from.
Oh.
Wouldn't deal
By
with it
deal with,
yourself.
do you mean throw it into the sun or?
Oh, and so as a quick retcon of what I said just a few minutes ago, there is the hyperlink. I've just been informed of, which is the equivalent of HoloNets. There is a Starcana galactic network, which is called the hyperlink. So you hopped onto the hyperlink to find that information.
Oh, radical. Love the hyperlink.
So yeah, there's no bleeds don't. Yeah, you don't stop them. You can't. This is not something you're gonna figure out how to stop. I think you wouldn't expect to know how to stop it, but you can do an average. I think actually a hard knowledge Starcana check with that boost, if you want to see if there's anything else you are able to remember about bleeds.
Knowledge, Starcana, hard boost. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, 1 success and 1 advantage.
Smart bear.
So outside the scope of your character's knowledge, that you don't know, outside the scope of their knowledge, this is a decay bleed type, and it's just like rotting. Its entropy is bleeding into the area almost. I don't think that your character would necessarily know to classify it like that, but I think that you are able to discern some of the key features, and I don't really know how that would work out in the fiction, but you know that this is going to have a warping effect on the local fauna. And it's gonna make their attacks more deadly and make them more likely to want to eat flesh. In fact, if they weren't carrion eaters before, they are now.
Jeez.
And in fact, things that have been exposed to it for a long time, and you feel, I think that with advantage, you feel that intuitively this bleed has somehow sunk deep into the local area, deeper than it should for how long it's been happening. Creatures in the affected area are affected by prolonged exposure to the bleed they gain venomous on their attacks. Their attacks become poisonous and deadly.
I thought they were gonna like slowly be dying, and we were all gonna be sad. But instead, you make it violent.
Also, in addition, you can tell that its wounds aren't going to heal as easily while you're in this area. You won't be able to. So mechanically, removing critical injuries is going to add failure to the results automatically. And you can no longer add revive, incapacitated, or resurrection to any spells. Which I don't know if you're going to do that anyway, but just those types of magics don't happen here. Things that are dead stay dead and become carrion fodder for whatever else is trying to survive in this area. You can, however, add Primal Fury as an additional effect without increasing difficulty. And using Primalist attack spells, you gain a success and advantage on the check automatically.
Okay, so this is something that I can feel happening to my magic then.
Yeah, I think you feel this like vicious, deadly connection to your primal Starcana that you have not felt before.
The effect Primal Fury, what spell is that for?
That's augment.
Is it? Oh yeah, there it is. All right. Okay, if we're sharing information all around, I'll certainly volunteer that information. Is something I'm unclear on is the pyramid critter the source of the bleed? Has now been painted this entire planet, or property of the planet we've landed on?
It's not the entire. So you can tell. So Ripley saw this happen. Saw like a pulse out in the field emanate this bleed effect, and then this bleed just emerged and began to rapidly grow. So it's not all over the planet yet. It's just spreading.
Okay. Gotta catch this thing before he kills crops and whatever. Probably don't know about that other stuff, but can feel it affecting my magic, and we know that it's definitely bad for plants, at least. And seeing as this is a agricultural region, that sounds super bad.
Yeah. Is it killable?
No idea.
Oh, good. We know which way it went, so I guess let's go.
I imagine we can just follow the
Do-
trail of dead plants and see where it takes us.
Do we have a ground vehicle? I know that's sometimes included in the starter stuff, but
Yeah, I don't
Yes, we do.
think.
Yes, we do.
You can have a ground vehicle. I'm not. Yeah, you have a little hover scooter or something, but It is also turned off. I'm not going to have you like roll traversal checks or something.
You guys just
Yeah.
stacked on each other's shoulders on the little hover scoot.
I think you have a bike. Yeah, you have a 2-seater like bike or something, and it's mostly mechanical, so we can say that it actually wasn't totally debilitated by this whatever this blast was that shut off the
But
ship.
we got.
But you can't fit everyone onto the
Yeah. All right. All right. On foot it is then. Let's go.
Okay. As you are traversing through the fields, you, like I said, you heard those pained and death rattle hued chitters and wildlife sounds before. The crop reaches toward the sky, and even decayed and rotting towers above you. You pretty quickly come to the edge of the bleed effect field, though. It isn't spreading faster than the speed that you can walk at. It is moving, but it's creeping slowly out from where it's taken root. However, you hear grunts and snarls up behind you. And go ahead and everyone start initiative. And add
No.
these
Cool or
adversaries.
vigilance?
Vigilance for sure.
I got a really good roll.
PC's got a really good roll and a really bad roll. And 2 really bad rolls. And yeah,
A Haros?
yes. So at the very edge
Space
of
sphincter?
taking the first initiative slot, you turn on hear a thing going making horsey sounds. But like I said, pained and wheezing. Stepping into view, you see a desiccated Haros. The Haros is basically a space horse. It is one of the most common beasts of burden in the Almacar galaxy, or in known space at least, and they're all over the place. The specific description for you.
Oh, they're bleeding ichor out of their mouth.
Yes, some are bleeding ichor out of their mouth, some are desiccated, and one is jawless and just
Cute.
seems to be. Yes, it's cute and jawless. I'm trying to find where this Haros is, though.
Ernie, I don't think that word means what you think it means.
I have studied the English language and many other languages for many years. It's definitely what I think it means.
Somehow that's not better.
So yes, Haros are herbivores accustomed to hard labor. They're basically beasts of burden. They are large mammalian creatures. They have long, elongated heads, broad back, and 4 strong legs. They have cloven feet that give them sturdy purchase over any terrain. Basically horses.
They're so good for petting.
Normally they're very sweet and have very, I don't know, empathic eyes or something, but not. These are very clearly rotted and basically not undead, but they're pretty damn close to being dead. And they are medium range. They like step into this flattened clearing with the tall grass all around you, about 100 feet or so away from you. And the desiccated Decay Blood Haros is actually going to move forward and moves into short range and whinnies at you.
Cute.
First PC slot.
I think the lead is going to have the effect, an unexpected to Ranton effect, and once he senses the hostile intent of these creatures, he just, without even thinking about it, just instinctually casts Augment on himself with Primal Fury, and it's just going to be Augment is average, and Primal Fury is usually +1, and you said that wouldn't be an additional cost?
Yeah, no, you can add Primal Fury in this bleed for free. Does not increase the difficulty.
Sweet. Oh, he is going to Primal. And 1 success, 1 advantage. I'm going to heal a previous strain and then take my 2 strain for the spell, which makes my new total 3.
Nice, perfect. And you are adding, so you're giving yourself Augment, right? Which gives you an extra green, basically. Is that what it does? Yeah, you get to your next check. And Primal Fury, so you add damage equal to your ranks in knowledge to unarmed combat checks. And your critical rating becomes 3 for unarmed checks.
And so he's going to use his maneuver to... They're now at short range?
The desiccated one.
One of them is. Okay, he'll move to engaged with one of them, but obviously doesn't have any way to attack them this turn. That's his turn.
Okay, cool. But you enter engage with it, yeah. So as I think Ranton roars maybe or something.
Yeah, screams a bloody
attack.
challenge and loses distance.
Cool. Next PC slot.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I would love to go, but for some reason it's because it logged me out.
Does everybody
I
else
was
keep
like,
getting
my
logged out of
weapons.
RPG sessions as well?
Yeah. I was like, my weapons aren't appearing, and it's because I'm not logged in. That's why.
Oh, that might be because they're not equipped on your sheet.
Really? Oh, I thought I did. Let me check.
You have to
By the way,
also
you
check
go.
carrying.
Absolutely.
Do what?
I will double check my things. You go.
Okay, so Ripley sees Ranton engage this creature, and he's like, no, don't do that. And so he starts shooting at the creature that he's engaging with to try to help, even though that's a terrible idea, probably.
He's engaged with it, so it automatically upgrades it. And if you get a spare, you shoot your ally. But go ahead. This is a very Ripley thing to do. And
How far is Ripley from them? At least
you're short range from them, so it is 1 purple.
Good. So at least there's not a lot of opportunity for me to hurt you.
Yeah, and just add the upgrade, I think. Did you already add?
Yep, I did.
Okay. Two successes, 1 threat. You land your shot for 7 damage. And yeah, I think that your shot. What kind of weapon is this?
Let me find out. It is a light pistol.
Yeah, so the bullets or energy or whatever form of thing. Okay, yeah, the bullets, like you land your shot, you sink your shot into the desiccated Haros' shoulder, but it barely seems to notice it and barely flinches.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I don't like it.
Next PC slot. Unless, is Ripley taking a maneuver?
Hell no.
Okay.
I will draw my heavy pistol. I will spend a maneuver to aim as well. and take a shot at it. Add some strain because of the maneuver. And I will shoot.
Remember to upgrade.
Yep.
You did upgrade the difficulty. 1 success, 5 advantages.
All right, so I will crit with I think 3 of those.
Yes,
Crit
3
rating
crit.
on that.
Yep.
And then we will
Crit for this.
I will add a setback to its next check. That makes sense then. As it hits it on the shoulder and
Yeah, I think
sort
that
of
this.
staggers it back a bit, and then it falls over.
Yeah, this maybe like this shot hits immediately after Ripley's shot, and where it didn't react to the other shot before, just because you hit like almost the exact same spot, its leg gives out from under it. Oh, and it suffers a strain, so it takes an extra damage effectively, or an extra wound effectively, because it is not a nemesis. It does not have its own strain. Cool. Effective turn. Lerny. What is Lerny doing now?
Lerny's sitting there staring at those things, and even though, definitively they are cute, they must die. So Lerny whips out a noodly arm that has a laser pistol on it.
Sure.
And decides to go ahead and start shooting with that guy. Oh, for Pete's sake. Hold on, let me reload this and see if it pops. Come on, you can do
I
it.
always forget they have that thing.
Boop. Okay, great. Sorry, what range are we in?
You are short range, but
Short
upgrade the
range.
difficulty once because there is an engaged ally with the target.
Rude, because I am a robot and I have perfect aim. Fine, I'll make it 2 purple die. So, Lerny goes, blorp.
2 successes again, so 7 damage. However,
So yeah,
no advantage though. So
it has accurate 1 and burn 1, whatever the heck that means.
Oh, you need
accurate
to
one,
roll a
you
boost
should roll-
die.
Yeah, roll.
Oh, I
Yeah.
have to roll a boost die?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Roll accurate means that any attack rolled with that weapon gets a boost,
Oh,
or gets
well,
however
that's
many boosts you have ranks
fun.
in accurate.
1 success, 1
another
advantage. Have
success.
fun.
And an advantage. The advantage isn't enough to activate burn.
Burn. Darn it.
So you need 2 advantage for that, unless
Okay.
it says otherwise.
The GM
Yeah.
wants to be amazing.
No, but you could heal the strain that you've
I'll
taken.
heal a strain.
Yeah, or one other thing I like to do with advantages in combat especially is let you declare minor features of the environment that might take a maneuver or 2 to get into and utilize, but just flesh out the environment. Or you
For the advantage. Sorry, I reloaded and it hadn't actually registered my past strain, so I'm like, yeah. So what I'm actually going to do is use my second wind to heal 2 strain.
Okay.
And then I'm actually going to, yeah, you know what? Can I flesh out the environment in order to give
Go
us
for it.
like a little bit of an advantage?
Yeah. So with 1 advantage, the way I usually treat it is whatever you add is not something that gives you an immediate bonus. It's something that you'd have to spend like a maneuver or 2 to get to and utilize. But you could add something like a copse of trees or something.
Because I was going to say that we're in a fieldish territory, everything like that, but I was going to say that these guys are decaying a little bit. They're having a hard time walking, even though they're coming at us. They're not doing amazing. And it's a field. There's usually in fields like a lot of natural divots, tufts of like larger vegetation that kind of gets in the way. And I was thinking that they potentially were about to get stuck in either like divots or excessive vegetation or something like that. Something that would just give us an advantage in limiting their attacks.
Those are
Maybe there's,
extremely
like,
bad for horses.
Yeah,
Exactly.
maybe there's like plow, like not troughs, but whatever you call it,
Rows.
where the plowed. What is it?
Rows.
Just a row is what it's called.
Furrows. F-U-R-O.
Oh, furrow. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, there's like a furrow between you and the roses. So Rantan and the desiccated one are already engaged, but between you and that group, there's like this really gnarly furrow actually that makes it difficult terrain. to
Except for
move
us,
over.
because
except for you. I'll give you the benefit. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ranton already cleared like a path to it or something.
Yeah, Ranton's a dog bear. He's great. He's fine.
Dog bears. But then we move to the next NPC slot, and the next NPC is going to move into short range with
Disadvantage.
Urantan, and no, basically both of them are going. The other two are going to both group up, and all three of them are engaged with Urantan. But both of them are spending an action and a maneuver because it takes 2 maneuvers to get into engage with Urantan. So we're back at the top, and the first desiccated decay blood Haros though is going to target Urantan with his hooves. Think about where are his hooves? Why isn't his weapon showing up? Oh, maybe they just don't have weapons. Doesn't make any sense though. Is it not
Like this? We're just attacking in pain on almost undead horses
That's what's happening.
with no means of defending themselves.
Sorry,
They're just beating the dead horse. Don't worry about it.
Did not make them carry the weapons, but now I lost 2 of the horses. What is happening?
Yeah, no, RPG sessions is not saving every single thing you do. So reload frequently.
This is crazy. Just a second. Okay.
It's interesting. I have not had any issues.
Seriously? Are you kidding me?
I normally don't have issues with it, but something's going. There's been like weird login issues lately, so I wonder if it's related to that. But the issue that's happening now is that I forgot to make them carry the weapons that they have as well as equip them.
Which is silly, because one would assume that if they're equipped, they're carried.
There was this has been a discussion that's happened in the Discord.
Carry should be, yes, it's in my bag. Equipped should be, I'm using it.
It's on me, yeah.
I think the idea is that you have to be carrying it and then also equipping it.
Yeah.
That's silly.
Okay.
Equipped should just anyway. Doesn't matter. I'll stop.
Yeah. So the desiccated rears up with its cloven hooves and is going to target Rantan. It is going to also take that setback from being shot by a whole bunch of bullets at this point.
Because it's prone, right?
It'll take a maneuver to get out of stand up from prone, actually. And so I don't get the aim benefit from it. But it does 11 damage before your soak hits.
Okay.
And 1 threat.
11 damage.
Yeah, so you should only take 7 wounds.
Only 7. Good thing it's only 7.
How does a horse do that much?
I mean,
A very lucky roll.
Okay, I was gonna be like, what are we in like Victorian England and all of us have consumption? What's happening?
wasn't that lucky. It only rolled 1 net success. 2 of the green dice were blank.
Actually, seems crazy. I did not realize how much damage it does. But moving on to the PC slots. So it is your turn as PCs. Oh, I see.
Tim, I just saw the stacked bears.
When he said a scooter, I lost my shit. I'm glad I was on mute. I lost my shit and had to Google that picture right away. I'll just carry you you guys on my back and ride this skateboard and we'll be fine.
I love that show.
It's so good. In his rage, pseudo rage, Ranton whips out his blade wheel. It's a very odd weapon, I must say. And he is going to it's going to be a melee check, but I add a agility and a difficulty dice to it because it's unwieldy 3 and my agility is only 2. So Oh, I can roll dice on my character sheet.
Maybe I could boost you. I'm helping with a spaghetti arm.
Melee check plus an ability plus. It's easy because I'm in engaged range. Do you have any defense?
Yeah, for melee, yeah. No, it's average difficulty. Melee is almost always average difficulty, unless you have some crazy thing.
Fingers crossed. And his maneuver is to.
You can aim with it, yeah, so you can add a boost to it.
No, my maneuver is to maintain my augment.
Oh, sure, okay. You would get it until the end of your next turn, I think, right?
Nope, it's the end of this turn.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool. So you do need to maintain it. Fair enough.
Whew. Right, by the skin of my teeth. And the damage is +1. So it's my brawn, which is 3, or plus that 1 success, which is 5 damage.
5 damage. Does that have pierce or anything on it?
It does not.
So yeah, as your blade bites into the Haros, it like carves up its flesh, but it doesn't hit anything vital enough for the thing to even really register it again.
Why don't we say that act wakes Ranton up out of his magically induced rage and like immediately sees this is an untenable situation to be in, takes 2 strain to activate a second maneuver, and moves off to short range from the horses.
Okay, cool. So you are in short now. Okay. So you retreated over the difficult terrain, over the furrow, back to the group.
Is it difficult for us?
Nope.
No, I'm not counting as difficult for you guys. That's part of the
Gotcha.
The deal.
engaged. It's only challenging for horses. For people, it's fine.
Just like stairs.
Yeah. It's like stairs and Roombas. So yeah, you are able to retreat over that and give yourself a little bit of a breather. Next PC slot.
I will go. They're all like right next to each other, right?
Yes. Yeah, they're
They're
all
not
in a
coming from
pack
different
right now.
directions.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to shoot at the one that's been injured several times already. Still at short. Yeah. Seven damage, and I will spend 3 advantage to crit again.
Seven. Okay. Oh wow.
And then I will take a maneuver to go to medium range.
Reading. God. So yeah, you maim it, and
It's
one
no.
of the limbs is permanently lost. I think that it literally like your bullet just like you hit where the Urinar blade that Rantan hit with it before was trying, and it didn't have much effect. But yeah, you're able to like sever the final bit of flesh, and it now has literally lost its limb. It's lost a leg. These things only have legs, so there's not really many. It's lost a front leg.
It's now hobbling on 3.
Yeah, and it'll take a permanent setback on everything it does from
Nice.
that. Yeah,
And then I use a maneuver to back up.
Okay, so you are at medium range now.
Yep. And I'm going to step away for a minute.
Okay. Next PC slot. And while this is happening, I think that in the behind you, I'm going to spend a Jim story point, and you all feel another pulse, and it's almost a concussive thump that emanates from behind you between yourselves and where the settlement is again. And Anton, especially, you feel this sort of pressure field blow past you, the Starcana energy blow past you as well. And there is, and immediately behind you, it begins to. Behind you, the ground begins to become soft and spongy, and and I think at this point, Renton can tell that another bleed has taken root immediately behind you and towards the city, but a different one than what you're in right now. Sorry, Lerny, it is now your turn if you wanted to take this PC slot.
This is very rude of you to do this. Yes, I will absolutely take this PC slot. Lerny's got spaghetti arms. One spaghetti arm has a laser pistol, and after that kind of like pulls her behind, the other spaghetti arm like shoots up. It has the shield on it that Lerny has. They're not really paying attention too much, but it's an automatic reaction. Their main thing right now, after that like little shield maneuver, is going to be murdering that Heros. Because let's just get rid of at least one of them. So they're going to use the laser pistol again, and because it has accurate this time, I'm remembering to put the boost on. And sorry, are we still doing average difficulty or is it easy difficulty?
First, sorry, I totally spaced on
That's
what
okay.
you said on the positioning. How far are you from them right now?
You said before that we were at short range.
So
Everyone else
unless
has
you've-
moved back, but I haven't yet. So
Yeah, if you have not moved back, then you're still at short range, but which make it easy difficulty
okay,
for
cool.
a shooting attack, and no upgrades
Right.
because there's no one engaged anymore.
Okay, yeah, I just have a boost because of my accuracy.
Sure.
By
Yes.
sure you mean absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. 3 successes, 2 advantages, and a triumph.
Triumph is that
8
I
damage.
totally injure another horse. In fact, I
Yeah, you can
killed
spend
2
a-
horses.
I will give you. Yeah, I will give
You can use it. You can use a triumph for a crit.
I will give
Right?
you. You can add it for. Oh, you could crit it if you want for sure.
I don't need to crit the horse
you-
who's basically already dead. I want to
So-
do injury to 2
to another
horses.
horse. Yeah, I think that
I
you
want to
could
kill
I'll
one
give you.
and injure the other.
Yeah, I'll give you an activatable linked quality for it. So you do 8 damage to another horse. Do you want to take? What does this look like? And are you doing the additional damage to the Ichor-toothed one or the jawless horse?
Jawless for keeping alive because adorable, as I said.
That's the cute one.
The cute one. Correct.
Japanese horror film horse. Cool. Great.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, it's so cute. Ugh.
Gross.
So basically, the story behind this is that the pulse kind of shocks Lerny. So Lerny throws up the shield. Lerny isn't arty, but still every now and then taking a peek behind, just like when you're driving, does alter where your arms are, where you're heading, all that kind of good stuff. So the little peek behind at the pulse shifted Lerny over to the side, and when they turn back, it actually the laser shot went over the already pretty much maimed Heros and into the Heros right next to it, and that is what caused the damage.
Okay. Cool. And also, you have enough advantage to activate your burn quality.
Oh, murder
So you
it!
could set the desiccated horse on.
I returned.
Welcome back. Lerny, while you were gone, the pyramid bot created another bleed of a different variety just behind you,
Oh, great.
further in between you and the settlement. And also, Lerny shot one horse and set it on fire. Maybe we're deciding that, and then
It's
also
the
shot
second
another
horse that was set on fire. So basically, what happened is that the first horse just got the laser went straight across it and it was already on its last leg.
Okay, I'll give you.
So it died.
Typically,
And then-
this one's alive
yeah.
still. No, the desiccated horse is still alive. It didn't die.
There's a.
It has a little bit of wounds left. Yeah. I'll let you apply burn to whichever one you want, just because it's getting really late and I'm literally drenched in sweat right now. My room is so hot. It means what you think it means, but
It's
yes.
hot.
I'm gonna no. See the question. You have to listen to the inflection of my voice. Yes, it's hot. You're right.
It's so warm in my office.
Then can I just encourage you to just kill one of the horses, then, man?
I will give you. So I'll let you use the triumph to either hit another horse, or you can activate a third crit. But this crit will effectively kill the desiccated horse.
I want to injure 2 horses, so whichever way you want to do that.
That's the only way is to use the triumph to
Great,
and
let's do
linked.
that.
Okay, so this horse is still alive. You can set him on fire though.
I'm gonna set him on fire then if he's still alive.
All right, so this horse is on fire, and he will take burn damage on his next turn. Final PC slot. Who is left? Ripley, I think, has the last turn.
Ripley just charges. He's like, ah! And he launches himself and grabs onto the non-flaming desiccated horse and bites it on the neck.
This is like a real King
Yes.
Shark moment. All right, go ahead. Roll. Do you have an attack that lets you do that, or are you
It's
just
bite,
like?
yeah.
I sure do.
Oh, you have bite. Okay, go. This isn't just like a brawl flavored as you chomping on it. You have an actual specific bite attack.
Yeah, Ripley has
Uh,
beautiful attacks. One is
I mean,
bite. One, the fancy rings to make them look fancy. They're actually brutal. They can
I
kill
was
you.
gonna say that you could also use your flyby as well, which gives you.
Oh yeah, actually, I completely forgot I was gonna do that this time anyway. Before I did the charge, he like sucked in a dose of flyby, like freaks out for a second, charges it, bites, and then bites again. 2 bites. I think my next bite comes at the end of the round.
You get an extra action, right?
Correct.
At the end of the round. So I can roll that again in a minute.
Okay. So yeah, so with this first bite, 3 successes, 2 threats. You do 8 damage to it. That is enough to kill this. You chomp into its neck. Did that work? No.
I don't know which one I selected. I just selected a random one.
Just saying, it logged me out of the table again.
Perfect. This is what we want. This is the quality we are looking for.
I blame you, Micah.
No, actually, it's barely. It is probably my fault. It is no. So the 3 damage slips through past its soak, and it is on its. It's standing anymore. I was gonna say it's on its last legs. It's on its 3 last legs because it is also missing a leg, and it's also on fire. And there's a shark person chomping on its neck, but it is still alive nonetheless. With the 2 threats though, I'm gonna give the next NPC a boost as you are now right up close to them, right in their vicinity.
Oh god, it tastes terrible.
Which is, I think it's the NPC slots next because it reset the tracker for some reason. Everyone has this round, right? Yeah, we're on the second round.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure what you were expecting it to taste like. It is literally a decaying horse corpse.
It tastes like dead horse. In fact, dead horse is a place in Alaska.
It tastes like leather.
Wait, is Dead Horse really a place?
Dead horse is a place. It is in the extreme north of Alaska, and I drove there once.
That sounds like a long drive.
Extremely long drive. Even though we started in Anchorage, Alaska, it was like 22 hours of driving or something silly like that.
Wow.
I assume it's very scenic though.
It was great. It was like 9 of us in a 15-passenger van with all the benches tore out, and we had a couple coolers of beer, and it was a good time.
What the heck?
The Ickertooth decay blood horse, however, tried to help its buddy, the desiccated decay blood horse, and attack Ripley, who is chomping on its neck. However, these Horoses suck, and it did not land it. It got 5 advantages though. So
it got to think about its life a little bit. It remembered its parents. It's figuring itself out right before its death. It's not doing any harm to us, right?
I think that I think that it will. So many advantages. So what I think it doesn't do any harm, so you don't suffer any wounds, but it does knock Ripley off the Heros and knocks Ripley down, actually. So Ripley is knocked prone. However,
oh god!
Yeah, you still get your next attack anyway, so whatever, it's fine. But you're being stomped at by both of these Heroses now. The Jawless Decay Bled Heros is going to charge at Josu, but can only get to short range because it's got to take a maneuver and an action to get across that Pharaoh. So it is Ripley. You get your special like extra druggy action.
Yeah. As he's like laying on the ground, he grabs the Herose's ankle and just starts gnawing at it. Like that.
I feel like for your accent, this works really well. A Heros is a Heros, of course.
Ripley is endearing and infuriating at the same time.
So good.
I'm gonna spend a maneuver to aim.
Okay.
And I'm gonna upgrade it because I don't know, the horse ankles are real tiny and Goss teeth are real big and sharp.
Fair. It's totally fair. Yeah. And these are especially like wasted away because they're being affected by this entropy bleed. 3, 6, 8 damage. And was this the one that you had attacked before? That you or were you attacking the other one? Okay.
I was really hoping that I would be able to activate a crit. Dang it.
You chomp off all of its feet though. I think that there's just like a plume of red mist that just shoots up from beneath the Heros from all the other PCs' perspectives, and all of a sudden it like has this sad look on its face, and it just drops to the ground and dies almost immediately.
Somehow, as a horse, it feels emotions.
Yeah, it's a quasi-zombie undead horse. It has emotions.
Zombies have deep inner lives, man.
That Heros is dead. Ichor-toothed one. I'm gonna give you guys back the PC slots because the Heros that usually takes the top, that was giving the top NPC slot to, just died. So you guys get the first 4 moves before I use the NPCs. And I think at this point, Ripley, you are now suffering 2 setbacks on everything, right? From
after this encounter.
Oh, it's after the encounter. Okay.
Yeah, flyby is awesome, man.
Extra action for the rest of the rounds?
I don't know, but I will definitely take it. Because it's after this encounter, he's supposed to get 2 setback on every check he makes for the next 24 hours. Yeah. So I don't know if he just gets the 1 action or if it's just like he gets an extra action for the entire encounter at the end of the
way
round.
it's worded, it's the way it's worded. It's just that
because
you get it says at the end of the round.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then this turn does not count as your character's next turn for the purposes of talent. So yeah, it sounds singular.
Yeah, at the end of the round. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just the one time it happens.
So if you take my cost more than once, do the setback accumulate?
Or you take flyby?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So basically, if you take flyby again, then it like negates the setbacks.
Yeah.
So basically, this effect is removed during any encounter where your character takes another dose of flyby. So yeah, if we come into another encounter, you have to take flyby again in order to not get the setbacks.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would get the extra round too.
Yes, you would get the extra round 1 more time when you do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the fun thing with flyby. That's why I only gave you 4. So that like it seemed like you could either be extravagant with it or you could be like really sparing with it.
Yeah, your character is now legitimately addicted to it because you don't want to get those setbacks.
Yeah.
Josu's gonna spend 2 maneuvers to get to medium range from the one that just closed with him.
Okay. I think that as you spend those 2 maneuvers to back up further, you enter this other bleed area where the water or the ground has become marshy and spongy.
Gross.
But you feel rejuvenated by it, actually. You almost feel like you were already hale and not wounded, but you feel more robust than you did before.
Mike, are we gonna?
I feel pretty good here. I'm gonna spend a story point and I'm gonna upgrade.
All right, and you will roll 1 failure and 3 advantages.
Woof.
Ouch.
as you felt too comfortable and totally biffed your shot. Next PC
Yeah.
slot.
I'm going to use those advantages to gain melee defense until the end of my next turn.
Mm.
Oh, nice. Okay. Because while this was happening, the Ichor toothed.
Yeah, whichever one was close that had closed in on me was the one I was shooting at.
Yeah, which was the Ichor tooth decay blood Horos one. Yeah, exactly. So it began approaching you and stomping towards you at this time. So it is where you used to be though. So it's not in this other bleed area.
Yep.
Who would like to take the next PC slot?
Oh, where are we? I don't care. I'll go.
For it.
I'm a robot. I don't give a shit. Okay, so sorry. We have that. The Icar one is closer, and then my jawless baby is still farther away. Correct?
Yeah, the jawless cutie is
Yeah.
still back where Ripley is, basically.
Okay. Just decided that if anybody has to murder that jawless cutie.
Or no,
Gotta do
sorry,
that.
it's the other way around. The jawless cutie is actually closer. The jawless cutie is like going after Josu, and the Ichor tooth is by Ripley.
Oh, I thought you said the Icar tooth was attacked.
Now, I'm remembering it as I say it, and so I set it up the other way. So the Ichor tooth one is attacking Ripley, and the jawless decay blood one is chasing Josu.
Got it. I want to attack the jawless one because it's my love and my joy. So, so Lurdy is again going to whip that spaghetti laser pistol around and aim it at the jawless beauty. Is the jawless beauty in short or medium range?
The jawless
For
is
me.
in short range
Short?
because
Okay.
it had to spend both. Yeah, the jawless one just crossed the difficult terrain. That's what it spent
Okay.
both of its maneuvers on.
So we'll do that. And I'm still using that. Oh, dang it. I forgot to click the button. Build pool. Yes, please. Thank you. All right, so it's in short, so I have the easy difficulty, and then I added my boost for the accuracy. And we're just going to go ahead and shoot. Wow, that's not great. 1 failure, 4 advantages.
Yeah,
That's fun.
Both you and Josie are just like unleashing totally inaccurate fire on this jawless Horos.
The
It's so
tables have turned.
Yeah,
It's so charming. We can't kill it.
so gross. Okay, next PC slots.
Wait, what do the advantages do? We didn't do anything.
Oh,
about that.
sorry. Yeah, you have 4 advantages. I
How
keep
dare
skipping
you.
over this. Yeah, 1 failure, 4 advantages. With the 4
Yeah.
advantages, what would you like to do with the 4 advantages?
So
I
is
guess
it like 2 advantages equal like boost or what have you for the next?
2 advantages. You can give a specific person a boost with the 2 advantages, or you can give a specific person 2 boosts, or 2 specific people 1 boost with the 4 advantages. Or you could do the next person gets a boost, whoever goes next, for 1 advantage. And I let you. I'm fine. The blue wave can happen. It has never been a hindrance to the game. So if you want to pass all 4 as a boost to the next roll, that's fine. Even though that'll be crazy. It'll probably still miss. I've never seen it actually help.
No, I'm gonna give a boost to each of the next 2 slots. So Ripley, Renton, each get a boost.
Okay. You still have 1 advantage left over then.
I do.
Yeah, so you're using 1 advantage to pass a boost to the next slot, and then 2 advantage to pass a boost to the slot immediately
After that. Got
So
it. What
yeah.
do I do? Heck, the next slot gets 2 boosts then? Is that acceptable?
Yeah, that's fine with
Great,
me.
let's do that.
Go
That
for
sounds
it.
fun.
Okay. Who wants to take the 2 boost slot?
I would like to attempt
it,
to heal myself.
No.
Probably not.
Yeah. If you okay, cool. I can justify the boost perfectly then. I think that they missed their shot, but as they did, they pushed. It knocked Rantan into the other bleed area, the soft, wet ground, and suddenly your heal magic is more effective, more powerful. So you automatically gain a success and advantage to that check.
So 1 success, 1 advantage. boost.
Yeah, and you'll get the 2 boost, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't have given you the success and advantage, but you're pretty jacked up, so I feel like it's deserved.
It's gonna be an average check because heal plus heal crit is my signature spell, and we're gonna go ahead and roll that.
Wham bam. Nice. Ooh.
Holy
Triumph.
moly. 3 successes, 3 advantages, and a triumph.
So that's 3 wounds.
And you attached heal crit to it, you said?
Yeah, so I can get rid of my critical injury there.
Take the 2 strain, but you can also heal a bunch of the 5 strain that you were carrying with you, so effectively.
Oh, right, because we're using the... is it 2 for 1, advantage to strain?
Oh, that's only for cool checks. So it just
advantages are always strain on.
Yeah,
always
you can
heal strain on the heal check.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's the triumph. What do we want to do with that?
Maybe the power of the healing energy gives something negative to this desiccated creature or something.
So I would give you, because the Jawless Decay Bled Haros is almost in the other bleed area, which is a water bleed. So it makes heal better, ice effects work. It stops fire and burn things from happening, and helps medicine and makes medicine checks heal better. So it's a very restorative area. Given that it would be really beneficial for the Decay Blood Heroes to be in that area, I would let you use a Triumph to like basically fully knock the Decay Blood Heroes into this area where it begins to heal, which is which will have a rejuvenating effect on it and will rehabilitate it away from this decay blood, the influence of the decay bleed.
Wait, does that mean that we have to potentially murder a now almost living Haros?
No, it's becoming less corrupted basically as it's in this water area rather than in the decay area.
But is it still our enemy?
It isn't happening instantaneously. But this would give you a leg up on it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so you're gonna use that Triumph to push it into the area, basically.
And I am gonna end my concentration on the augment and use my maneuver to shrink back to where Josu is.
Cool. So yeah, I think that maybe rather than pushing it into the area, because that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, your heal magic embiggens the water bleed.
Just makes the area larger.
Exactly. Like it.
You use the scientific term, please.
Embiggen. It embiggens it. It's a word.
I know.
It's descriptive in this sense.
Goofy.
It's a dumb word, but it's a word. But yeah, so yeah, the decay bleed shrinks just a tiny smidge as the water bleed begins to overtake a little bit of the area, and you see the jawless decay blood Haros begin to rejuvenate, and its skin knit back together, and bone begins to reshape and grow back to where its missing jaw is.
Aw.
With that, who is taking the last slot? Ripley, I think that is you.
Is the black ichor-toothed horse still trouncing about me?
Yeah, he's still stomping at you.
Okay. All right. So I have to spend a maneuver to stand up.
Okay.
And then I assume am I still engaged with it though?
Yes.
So then I will just harumph myself upon it and bite again.
And you don't apply your setbacks yet. That's correct. Okay, so you just do your attack.
I'll spend my second maneuver to aim for the jugular.
Ooh.
Like, what does it look like when Ripley is aiming his chomp? Why don't you do a paint a picture for me?
He's got his hands up in front of him in like little claw hands, and he's
Lobster?
using using it. No, not like that. Like facing him, like he's waiting for a grapple or something. And
got it.
he's looking between the two grappler hands at the place he wants to bite, and then launches himself forward in a fierce fury of macaque teeth and I don't know, tail.
Let's see how this chomping goes.
Like a shark pedo.
Just like a shark pedo.
And it's a success. It's 6 damage, 3 advantage, which is enough to crit.
I'm critting the hell out of him, and it's vicious 1, so plus 10 to the
Plus
crit.
10 crit.
Ooh.
So it's only 1 wound soak slips through the soak, but it does get the crit.
What?
They have 5 soak.
Dang.
Yeah, you gain a story. Okay, thank you. My brain shut down trying to understand how that worked. You have discouraging wound. You gained a story point, basically. Perfect. Yeah, as the toothed decay blood Horos is not accustomed to having a chompy shark just hanging off of its jugular.
I feel like after he makes the bite, just narratively, he just goes limp and he's just literally just hanging there. The Horos is whipping its head back and forth, and so Ripley is just flopping, but he won't let go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you locked your jaw and everything, so you're just like a sort of wet cloth just flopping around, and it's gonna stomp back at you though. That one does that, and then target you. Build pool. I will apply a setback though because you are chomped. I like the idea of Ripley hanging on like a shark that's marked its prey, which I think would make it harder for the Horos to stomp back. As it rears back and kicks at you and fails. The setback was enough to actually stop it from successfully kicking you and knocking you up, but it gets an advantage. With that advantage, it's gonna give you a setback as you are just thrown back and forth by it, but you're still managing to hang out and stay in engaged range. The jawless decay blood Horos. This one is moving towards Josu. It is Josu, you are medium distance from it, right?
Yeah, that's where I moved.
Okay. Or no, you're short because it moved equivalently, but had to spend 2 maneuvers to get across the difficult terrain. So
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is. The water is beginning to stitch it back together, and it's looking more and more like a normal Horos. And these are not typically aggressive beasts like this. That's a good thing. Just intuitively, that is a good thing. That it is regaining its natural state, and it will spend a maneuver and an action because it's still slightly deranged, to get into engaged with you, but it can't actually do anything. But even at this point, at engaged, you can see it fully reforming and becoming a normal beast of burden. It is back to the PC slots.
I will go. I will again take a maneuver. Just go move to short range this time.
Okay.
And I will shoot at it again. I'm almost trying to bait it at this point. If it seems to be losing its steam, almost.
Sure. Yeah, it's not losing its steam as much as its aggression is tamping down. I said.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 successes and a triumph. So 10 damage and a crit. Because there's nothing else I can do with a regular old pistol.
All right. Yeah. So I think that your pistol shot grazes. At least one of your shots graze right off of its bounces right off of its relatively thick skull, and it shakes its head and steps back for a moment, and it begins to I think that whereas before it had like cloudy cataract eyes, it now the eyes as it's shaking its head, the eyes sort of color returns to them actually. As you like it almost knocks some sense back into it. Next PC slot.
And fire wildly into the Iker horse.
Okay.
By wildly, accurately. So Lernie's going to see the Iker horse just shaking Ripley like a sheet in the wind and think, that doesn't look comfortable. And with his with their extremely accurate laser pistol is going to shoot at the Iker horse, totally avoiding Ripley. To try to help their good pal out.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, am I at short or medium range with the Iker horse? I'm still just going the same.
You are
I think it's short
range from the
Okay,
Iker Tooth horse.
Just
Haros.
sure. Haros. Okay.
For some reason, like of all the near real words in Starcana, Haros is really hard to get to stick. I keep defaulting back to horse.
We all just need to be a little bit more curmudgeonly so that we can go Haros. It's like harumph.
That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Let's call it a space horse.
A space Haros.
No, space horse.
A sparace Haros.
Spores.
2 successes, 2
Ooh.
advantages.
7 damage. Lernie, also, that's enough advantage to set the thing on fire.
I know. Hey Ripley, let go. Fire's happening.
You're setting it on fire.
I'm totally setting it on fire.
Okay,
Sorry
yeah,
about
I
that.
like the idea. Like maybe the Iker itself that is like just oozing out around its teeth, like just bursts into flames because it's oily.
Oh, this is super metal. Somebody needs to draw this, and then some band needs to use it as their
I think this
album
actually
art.
is even more metal than our Inquisition playthrough,
Yeah.
which was like vampires and werewolves and stuff. Because this is like
way more metal.
a zombie space Haros with a shark man hanging off of its neck while its teeth are on fire. Yeah, this is actually pretty metal.
I love it.
Next PC slot.
Going once.
I'll go ahead and
Ripley
take it.
or Anton.
So I'm gonna let go because it's hot. Oh, hey! And instead, I am going to punch it up a bunch.
Rings.
Sweet. Raising his dukes. Raise ya dukes, Haros.
I have a past setback.
You do. Because you are, up until this moment, we decided to let go and stop carrying the things that hold you back. You were dangling off of this thing's neck.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and spin a maneuver to aim again.
Okay. Your rolls for combat, by the way, have been like
Pretty rad.
incredibly effective. Yeah. For the face, the dapper. So
Yeah.
7 damage, 3 successes, 1 threat. So 2 more. With that 1 threat, so I'm just trying to think what to do with that 1 threat. You can apply. Do you want to apply or wait, you can't apply it. This is threat to spend on you. I don't really want to give you more strain.
Why not?
But I'm going to give you strain because.
What about the threat is that our little main boss gets closer to us?
That would be a little bit more than a threat, I think. But you know what I'm going to do? The difficult terrain that was between you, the scuffle has filled it in enough that's no longer difficult terrain. So they're actually just like a really easy short distance from you guys. Erdantan, you have the last turn.
Ready. I've lost my mental picture of like relative locations.
So you are right by Lernie, but you're basically like on
We're
the border in between the decay bleed and the water bleed.
Okay.
And then a little bit past you, or actually really close to you, but a little bit past you, in the water bleed is the jawless decay blood Haros that has been charging towards Josu. However, as it's been charging into this water bleed, it's been reconstituting and returning to its normal state. While Josu has been basically kiting the Haros and just walking, keeps just
Yep.
backing up and shooting
Yeah.
it. And yeah, and then a little bit ahead of you in the decay bleed, but definitely in the decay bleed, is Ripley is punching the crap out of the ichor-toothed decay bled Haros, whose teeth are on fire.
Since last turn, I healed myself in extremis after having had the crap kicked out of me by a Haros. Really getting out of that situation. Use a maneuver to activate my bad habit and on some honey sticks. Which picturing
I
it,
forgot about that.
I'm picturing is just like a kind of a candy cane, except it's like a golden color. Have you ever seen crystallized honey?
Yeah.
Except this is
Definitely.
like very regular and smooth and just cylindrical, and just like shove like a couple of them in my mouth and crunch down on them. And
Yeah, I was gonna say, I imagine like you just like snapping off the top of them and just like, yeah, like shoveling, just
like
just chomping
my
them down.
pupils get real huge, and basically be disoriented for the remainder of the encounter. But at the beginning of each of my turns, heal 2 strain. I am going to, as an action, target the Ichor-Tooth horse with an attack spell.
Okay. I think that given that you're you can choose which bleed you're in. Are you in the water bleed or the decay bleed? Because the water bleed lets you add ice onto your attack spell for free,
Oh.
while the decay bleed lets you add something else onto your attack for free, and I don't remember.
I thought I pushed you into the water bleed with my
Yeah.
stray shot, so I'm pretty sure you're already in there.
Yeah, and
Well,
that's where I had
the
ended up, and I
heal-
haven't moved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to stay in the water bleed. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to give you the option. So you can add ice onto it for free without
Okay.
increasing difficulty.
I don't remember exactly what it does. It's ensnare, that's what it does. Yeah, okay. Go to my ranks and knowledge. All right. This is I'm what, medium range from that guy?
You are, yes, medium ranged from the jawless decay blood Haros. Or sorry, from the ichor toothed one. From the one that's in combat with Ripley, you're medium range.
Right. Oh. Womp womp. So I do
no,
not
you
hit the
gotta try.
guy, but I do have 2 advantages.
Triumph?
So
I think with it. So go ahead if you have an idea for the triumph.
can I make the water bleed extend out to him again? He's not close to it. He's at medium range for me. He's not in
I
it,
was
right?
gonna say
Yeah, it wouldn't
the
be really.
jawless horse recovers and comes up to you and nuzzles you. It's a
Yeah.
magical moment.
I was gonna say we have been saying that the triumph has been like amplifying, because your last triumph like amplified the water bleed, and I would say that maybe in this case it does it again. And yeah, the jawless decay blood Haros, it would be appropriate for your primalist magic to complete the rejuvenation
Yeah.
of the jawless decay.
The resonance between my
Basically.
magic and the bleed makes it.
Yeah, and it's no longer insane and zombified. It's now just like a Haros.
Okay, let's do that. I'll pass 2 boosts to the next player. Just narratively, we'll say that just has to have something to do with the positive energy of the bleed weirding us
The
out.
water, yeah, like rejuvenates and emboldens everyone.
Yeah.
It embiggens everyone's spirits.
Thank you, Micah.
Every description is going to use that term now. Yeah, so the next one, next PC slot gets a boost.
Good.
2 boosts. Perfect. And the jawless
boosts?
decay bled hero. I think, yeah, you, from Josu's perspective, you saw like Renatan like summon magic, and I think water began to like maybe crawl up his legs for a moment, and then he failed to cast the spell, but the energies dissipated back into the water bleed and amplified its effect. And look at Josu looks at the jawless decay blood Haros, and suddenly it is a jawed decay blood. It is a jawed Haros. It's just a normal Haros, and where before it had been frothing and filled with insane violence and rage, now it does look at Josu and then like snorts and just goes and begins to chomp on some of the nearby weird space corn.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sure. Nice Haros. You just keep eating that space corn.
A jawed Haros and a jawed human. Magical.
Yeah, and it looks at you with its weird. I think it has weird eyes. I'm just gonna say it has weird eyes. It has goat eyes. So it looks at you with its weird goat eyes, and goat eyes always look really judgy when they look at you. So you get that feeling of being judged by this animal. But then it returns back to eating its space corn. And
You know what? I'll take it.
however, the Ichor-toothed Decabloteros, its turn is up. It is on fire, so it is going to take a wound from the fire as it crawls up its teeth and licks onto its lips. And it's going to attack Ripley, who it is engaged with.
Wow, we were.
Oh, sorry. It started raining, and I thought that there were like mice in the walls.
Reese.
Having a brief moment of panic because it's like, are there mice in all of the walls in my room? I might be overheating. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to tell. I can't turn the AC on because
Did you open a window?
adds too much noise. No, it's raining out. I can't open a window. I
Mm.
just told you. But so the Haros does 12 wounds to Ripley.
Oh my god. Ripley
As
can't deal with that.
he has 2 soak, so it only does 10 wounds. As you are viciously stomped by this thing's hooves. But it
It's news.
returns to
You dumped up my nice suit.
as you like cough up a lung.
Thank God you have
ahead,
that
Ripley.
nice suit.
He definitely like pukes. For sure.
I feel like it's a shark thing too. I don't know if sharks like regularly vomit, but I feel like they probably do. Who would like to take the first PC slot?
Ripley's attached. Go for it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and enact my revenge upon this bastard horse. Let me see. I think I'm gonna spend a maneuver to disengage. I'll spend a second maneuver to take another sweet hit of that flyby. And I'm gonna blast on him with my light pistol.
That horse is on fire.
Then I guess you get your extra action at the end of this round.
Correct.
But go ahead and do your attack.
Nice.
As you unleash 9 damage and 2 advantage.
I am definitely going to heal 2 strain with that 2 advantage.
Fair.
Yeah.
Just because
you get two boost as well from Rantan's spell.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go ahead and add those. Yeah, 2 boosts. So 4
Yes!
advantage. So you get 6 advantage.
And I crit that son of a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Plus whatever he's already got. All right, that was a different one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a different one. It automatically saves.
Oh, that's the worst crit ever.
Fearsome Wound 52. The target increases the difficulty of all present willpower checks by 1. until the
Stupid.
physical injury is healed.
It's a good crit. It's just not a good crit in this instance
good
for
crit.
this.
Yeah, it's a good crit against a humanoid creature, not a zombified Haros.
It's not a good combat crit.
However, next PC slot though.
It's at long range for me right now.
It is yeah.
Right, so I will move to medium. I will spend 2 strain for a maneuver. and aim. And Ripley is not engaged with it any longer, right?
No, Ripley backed up.
Okay. Oh, darn it.
Your shots churn the decay-blood earth beneath its feet, but do not hit it. But you did get 2 advantage.
I will pass a boost die on to, I guess, Lerny, because Lerny's about to probably shoot it too.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna shoot it.
All right. Take 2 boost, then
How'd you know?
go ahead, Lerny.
Cool, man. So Learning is gonna just keep on noodle shooting.
It's not what it is called in Starcana.
Okay, wait. So sorry, I already have you passed me boost die.
You
That's
get
what
2
I have.
boost dice.
2 boost die along with my already there boost die. Golly.
Yes. Holy
Eh,
moly.
Murder.
Yeah, actually, that's just enough of that gets through to put it. That puts it just over its wound threshold as
Good.
your shot. How does this kill it?
Oh, in the coolest way possible. Basically, Lerny's just sitting there still noodle shooting, but this shot is so beautifully accurate, and the gun is so perfectly toasty. It's like when you get a latte that's just the right kind of hot, and you're like, ooh, that burns, but in a good way. And it just shoots right through the entirety of the horse's body, and it ignites the ichor just a little bit more than it's already on fire, and the entire Haros just gets engulfed in flame, and with a final kind of gross zombified whinny, it just collapses to the ground.
Yeah, with the 4 advantage especially, I think
Yeah,
that sounds great. I'm
cool.
glad that you actually described it rather than just saying like, how does it happen in the coolest way possible.
In the coolest way
That's how I
possible.
narrate. Yeah, just in the cool. Use your imagination. Yes, the Haros though it falls to the ground totally dead. The other Haros doesn't care because it's a normal
So
Haros again.
Haros is a Haros of coast
So
to
it's
coast.
just chomping. I think that when this happens, you look back into the water bleed and you hear like a as it just chomps down on another one of these space corn, which is
Beautiful.
already beginning, however, the space corn itself is already beginning to mutate as new flora begins to emerge in this water bleed. Definitely not edible like the flora that was there before it, but that will be a problem for another day as you look forward and you hear another whoomp whoomp and yet another bleed erupts between you and the settlement and presumably the pyramid bot that has scurried away from you. And I think that's where we're going to end the session tonight because it's very late.
It's late.
That happens. Joseph looks around at the group and says, "What do you say we just go back to the ship, fix it, and get the fuck out of here? This isn't our problem anymore."
Ripley crawls over to Josu though, and he like looks up at him. And he's like all bloody and bruised. He's got like a horse print on his forehead, and he's, "Boss, I don't think I'm gonna be around to get those leather jackets." And then he pukes on his shoes, and the credits roll.
Yeah, and I think, and then after mid credits, there is a flash scene as we pan up from the planet and zoom into the space in this solar system past the rings and towards the gate activates and emerging from it is this organic looking ship. It is this sickly organic thing and it is a ship that is not known to most of known space. It is a thing that has been hibernating for millennia until magic reemerges because it is one of the Bythal host monitors left behind by these forgotten empires to monitor the systems and wait for magic to reemerge so that yet again the host could be summoned to put down magic in the Almacar galaxy. The end.
No, wait,
Dun-dun-dun.
no. So we're coming back to play another one, right?
We can continue the story at some other
I'm
point.
curious. I like this
but
one. This one's cute.
Oh no. I don't.
But
I ran out of disk space for the recording.
that's
So I have
hilarious.
no idea how much I recorded. I don't. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm so angry right now.
You're
For the
Craig,
for the
right?
Craig, yeah, the Craig recording I have, but
Thank
I
you,
don't
Craig.
have the video recording for the YouTube channel for the server, like raw version of it. But oh yeah, so it'll just be like on a 0 video background on the YouTube server and our YouTube channel and not edited. But yeah, thanks for playing Starcana
Thanks, Micah.
with me today.
Thanks for running it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed
Good job.
this game.
I
Hope
like
that
this
you
one.
enjoyed Genesis.
A lot of
Sorry,
fun.
Lindsay, you're saying you like this one, Lindsay, or
I do. I'm a little bit upset that we didn't get to go farther. Like this is one where I'm like, oh yeah, I could play this one all the way through the whole story. Yeah.
yeah, I always do 3 scenes for these games, and I definitely was expecting. It just took a little bit longer for us to get through the scenes.
It
But I
always
honestly-
takes longer.
I was gonna say I'm
No,
gonna
it
give you a
does.
note every single time you have that encounter that you don't think is gonna take that long.
That's the thing. I
It
think
always takes so
I-
much longer. Like we could have done one Haros.
yeah, that's the thing. I think it was the Haroses in particular. I
Yeah.
didn't realize how not overtuned, but how like tough.
They were just real beefy.
You had a lot of soak.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
super beefy.
Yeah, that's
they
what I
were
say.
like-
The soak was a little high.
I just wanted something that was like what would make sense is like a domesticated animal to be on the planet that was corrupted
Yeah.
by this bleed. So I just grabbed one that made the most sense. But
I
I did not
think-
look closely at the stats to be like, oh well, this is like way.
Yeah, I think because
tougher.
this is something that like keeps happening to us, I think like something that could behoove us Haros
Ah,
in the future.
Haros
It's just if that starts happening legitimately as GM, I would just go in and be like, let's just debuff these guys a little bit.
I
so
did
we can
actually.
murder them fast.
They actually were even harder with the decay bleed.
Debuff them even more,
So-
Micah.
I was gonna debuff them. I was thinking about just having them like just be like, oh yeah, 2 immediately run away. But it was already pretty late by the time of this encounter. So
No, it's
to the
more
next-
that like this just we do tend to lean toward whoops, those enemies took a little bit longer than we
Yeah.
were
I think it's also just combat in general in
It takes a little
Genesis.
bit, yeah.
It takes longer than a lot of people give it credit for. And I think
Yeah.
people get mixed up or they get this because Genesis promotes the idea that combat should only last 3 to 4 rounds. And that's typically true, but people like forget that a round can last 15 minutes.